live. Hold on, you guys. I gotta turn Instagram on. My guests are here.
Yay.
Here, I just opened Instagram. My mistake. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I have Vanessa Reiser. She is a licensed therapist, specializing in narcissistic abuse. She's going to help us clarify some signs and warning signs and traits, all that stuff. I'm sorry. And then Cassandra is here. You guys, if you don't know the story, you guys will. I asked you guys before to not mention anything. You guys know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about narcissistic abuse, and then we're going to go into Cassandra's story after that. But all right, okay, sorry.
Krista, do you have an echo on your end?
No. Does everybody hear us okay? Do you hear an echo?
I hear nothing.
Do you have a stream? No, you have only one stream open, right? Hey, Shay. Wait, stream key, copy. Why, do you hear an echo just with me?
I don't hear it, so I don't know.
Is everybody else?
Yeah.
Do you hear it? Is it maybe your headphone? It's probably bad, right?
As long as everybody else isn't hearing it, it's fine.
Are you sure? No echo or no echo. Hey guys. Okay. So, Cassandra's abuser, you guys already have read the story with like Dani Gossip Girl. He has trying to stop us from saying his name. So, we're just going to call him Cunty Liar for now, or NT Liar for now. But I need help from Vanessa. Just clarify the signs, the warning signs, the traits, the patterns of narcissistic abuse. I wasn't sure about gaslighting, but it seems like it's the same thing or goes with it. Now, okay, first classify what a narcissist is for us.
Okay, so while I cannot diagnose anybody who I'm discussing here, I can sort of provide some psychoeducation on some of the characteristics that a pathologically disordered person possesses or uses in terms of tactics. So this is somebody who is always an addict, not necessarily in the conventional ways that we think, but they're always addicted to attention. So not every addict is a narcissist, but every narcissist is an addict because they have to have supply all the time. And oftentimes they have more than one supply. They are generally anxious, boundaryless. They tend to be braggarts. They are cheaters. They are very controlling, entitled, future faking, gaslighting, impulsive, intimidating, isolating, love bombing, lying, mask wearing, and then sort of the ground zero for narcissistic abuse is the no empathy. So the narcissist really is indifferent to your pain. The sociopath or the psychopath are enjoying your pain. But empathy is sort of really important for people to understand. They don't experience empathy. They can generally have an ability to fake it or understand what it looks like. So they have something called cognitive empathy. But empathy is a big thing to assess for because this is sort of like the ground zero. They tend to be passive aggressive. So their communication style is generally a snarky or sarcastic communication style. They project a lot, deflect a lot. They use the silent treatment as a way of punishing and a smear campaign. They try to kind of make you sound like this crazy, bitter, obsessed ex. They are superficial. They triangulate and create chaos almost everywhere they go for sport, and they withhold. And those kinds of behaviors, if one of them stands alone, it's really not that big of a deal, but it's sort of a recipe for disaster when you see all of these things happening at the same time. And then you get involved in the cycle of abuse, which is this love bombing, devaluing, discard circle that on the second loop looks like makeup session, tension building, fallout, makeup session, tension building, fallout. And then in this cycle of abuse, you develop a trauma bond. And it feels like a drug addiction. You want them to fix it again in this sort of like, makeup session phase. And so then you have an issue where you're stuck with this person because it's like you're looking for that fix again. Make it okay, make it okay, make it okay. And it's very much like death by 1,000 cuts. It's not an acute trauma per se. It's not like they necessarily have to punch you in the face. But most of my clients describe this as being far worse than getting punched in the face, the ones that do. So psychological abuse is, we're sort of, coming a long way in terms of identifying the coercive behaviors of the cult leader, the narcissist, the sociopath, and the psychopath. So that's kind of like the fundamental basics of what they're putting their victims through.
Is there like a certain personality type that they go after, or like, is it something that they just, I can't see them being like somebody who's equally as controlling. Like, do they prey on a certain type of person?
I don't think so. I think they cast out a bunch of lines. I think it's a misnomer that people are being targeted because they're empathetic or beautiful or smart, or basically the narcissist is going to use you and exploit things like money, fame, sex, cleaning, anything that they can use you in terms of a utility, whatever they can glean from you. That's the value. The problem is that when they cast out all of these lines, if you are not really solid in your boundaries, then you fall for it. I think none of us are really immune because some of them are particularly covert and unassuming. We saw this with Keith Raniere, who ran the Nexium cult. He was particularly unassuming. You would never think like this guy was a fucking monster. And then he was a monster, actually a psychopath. So, some of them are really slippery. It's not necessarily sort of the quintessential douchebag with like the Ferrari and the pop collar who comes like clicking in his Ferragamo shoes. That's not what you're always going to get. And that's what makes it so tricky.
Do you feel like they definitely abuse their power, I guess? Like, is there always a power dynamic that I always feel like they're, in my perception, that person was always, no matter what, they're better than me, stronger than me, even if they weren't by everybody else's outside view. But like, they use their power dynamic. And I feel like I'm seeing a lot of victims in court where like, they just can't, there's no defense for them. I've had people be called a bad victim.
Yeah, that's a really good point. There is generally a power dynamic. That's absolutely accurate. In fact, sometimes if I'm wondering about some of the people who I've seen, let's say in pop culture, dealing with an abuser, I always ask myself, like, who's really in the position of power? Because it sometimes sort of can lend to identifying, who the abuser actually is.
And they'll go broke basically in the court system just to prove you wrong, even though like in my experience, what I'm seeing is no matter what, no matter how much evidence you have, like, you could take it to a court and they can just literally make you go broke just trying to defend yourself. And then motions after motions, or what are they called? Not motions, but I think the worst thing I've seen is somebody get deposed. It was called deposed.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the narcissist will sometimes bankrupt their multi-million-dollar company just so they don't have to give you a red cent. They would sooner cut their arm off with a rusty spoon than write you a check. They will go homeless and not even provide dental care for their own selves. Like, these are people who will literally they'll burn the whole house down before you get 1 cent. We see this in court in terms of child support, etc. But it's such a great point. They will do whatever they have to do. This is about winning. This is about tallying, keeping, record of who's sort of one-upping the other. It's like dealing with an infant in some ways. So there's never really a point where you can mediate with somebody who's actually pathological. It's just this ongoing, like a child tantruming. I win.
Yeah. And I don't mean like you can't take a narcissist abuser to court like for doing that, but like there's the child, if you're married to this person and you're trying to leave them and they're going to try to take custody of your kids, where there's a lot of what's the girl's name? Amy. I think her name's not Amy Amano. I'll have to pull up her case later, but it's not domestic violence. I'm not saying everybody that is a narcissistic abuser is domestic violence as far as DV is, harming you physically. It's also emotionally, I think sometimes even worse, the emotional abuse. And then eventually, I've seen these people have been, they've had to unalive their spouse because it was either kill or be killed. I keep saying the words I shouldn't say, but and there's a lot of that going on. And then also I feel too, like, I don't know what kind of judge can see a court case like that, like this one person I'm talking about. And the one she had, she's in prison for the rest of her life, and nobody believed her. And still, it's like just her family believes her. And it's like that part, I think, is even worse. Like, you go to court and then nobody takes your side,
Right. And I think the problem with it is that those systems that were put in place to protect people don't, right? So we see this with certain, actually in domestic violence centers, we see this. So those systems that were put in place to protect you, when they don't protect you, the injustice of that is a compounded trauma. It's like if you walk into a courtroom and you say, I was raped, and they go, well, why the fuck were you wearing that? You understand? So it's like you're automatically going to get this institutional Darvo where they, flip it on you. So the judicial system is the biggest issue that victims are facing right now. And I think Tina Swithin is doing really important work in terms of her exposing some of the corrupt judges and attorneys in the nation. And so she's doing the Lord's work, in my opinion. So I think, the biggest issue right now is getting the judicial system to function where it supports victims. But, look at O.J. Simpson. He's playing golf today. I always say that. Like, in other words, why would we think it would serve us if he took two heads off of two people and he can just play golf? So, it's no surprise that it's failing miserably, but I think, we're starting to shine a light on this. Hopefully we're trending in a different direction.
To that point, I had a lot of people reach out to me when I went through my experience saying, why don't you just go get a domestic violence advocate? They'll help you. But my abuser was the one that filed on me. So they don't see you as a victim. They really don't take into consideration the power dynamics or anything like that. And that's really scary because, you expect that the police, the judge, the lawyers are going to protect you, but that's just not the case.
No, I was on the board for the Domestic Violence Center in Rockland County, and the executive director told me that they take very large donations from known abusers in the county, even though the wife is staying in the shelter. And then the president of the board actually said to me, we believe both of you, which is a really fucked up thing to say to somebody who's been victimized. But after those experiences, I began to realize that all of the people at the Domestic Violence Center were, doing these big events with the judges in the town and going to fundraisers with the attorneys and breaking bread and, kind of like relying on the funding. And I realized pretty quickly it was corrupt. And so I see the family court system as domestic terrorism and human trafficking. So I don't, as a matter of practice, I will probably never step foot into a police station or a domestic violence center now, learning what I've learned. Right. And I don't peddle that to my clients either. I say, if you can handle something civilly, that's the way to do it, because then at least you'll get in front of a jury and the odds are better that you would have a victory if somebody breaches a contract. So I'm always telling someone, see if there was a contract that was breached in any way, and then you can put a filing into place and protect yourself.
But also, can you speak to just how dangerous it is almost to even engage legally with these types of people, because they do see it as a playground and in a way, to impress their colleagues and just to continue the abuse?
Yeah, I mean, some of my clients, we spend a good amount of energy trying to figure out how they can fake their own death to get out of this is literally what we talk about, because the judicial system is something that they exploit, that they sort of peacock around. It's like pageantry. They absolutely love the courtroom. This is like the chef's kiss. And especially if you're co-parenting with one, and especially if there's a special needs child involved, they will exploit the living shit out of that. So, to your point, avoid it at all costs. But if there is something that is pressing, and I mean pressing, like basically the children are on fire, then you can file something civilly, and that's the way to go, to avoid the family court and the police station and the domestic violence center, because you need to find a narc savvy clinician who understands what you're enduring so they can take a shit ton of notes about it to protect you, and chronicle, what you've gone through, and then potentially something civil. But beyond that, to your point, it's not going to end well.
Now, how would you would go? So if you wanted to file stalking charges on somebody, right, on your ex, you would go to family court, or like it wouldn't go to like the superior court, or like
it's civil.
If you can try to get it in front of a civil court, that would be ideal. You'd have to talk to an attorney and figure out how they could craft something that highlights a breach of some sort, contractually. So it's like almost like you're going to be suing for damages or something like that. So you want to kind of treat it that way, and that's where people tend to have more success, because, as I said, there's a jury involved. It's not the all-powerful judge who's just a fucking egomaniac that's going to just enjoy sucking all of your funds out of you for their friend attorneys who are both on each side making a shit ton of money out of your pocket. So the jury is where you need to try to get in front of.
So it's always okay. So there, when it's domestic or something, it always goes through family court. I didn't know that. Like, yeah. Oh wow. Okay. And now the women. Now I'm glad that you said the way you said. Like they're thinking about faking their own death, because as soon as you said that, like at one point, me and my family member, we were like, what are we like? It was either we had to get rid of that person, or we try to get rid of. Like it was, we didn't know what to do. Like, the court, we would call the police, and then just because she defended herself, she got arrested. And now she has
Oh, I've literally thought about trying to disappear just to get rid of my abuser. Yeah. He has relentlessly filed things on me. And the scary thing is, like you guys said, if they have enough money, they can just continue to file things on you. And I don't know if it's true, but I think and I feel that that's just an abuse, like a further extension of the abuse.
I mean, your abuser is
legal abuse, I think, is really the worst part for my clients in terms of the post-separation abuse. It generally takes women between 4 and 7 times to actually get away. And then when you get away, that's when it really starts, actually. So this sort of experience re-traumatizes all of my clients, and it's really heartbreaking. So yeah, there's no really sort of hard and fast answer. Each story is unique, but yeah, a lot of times it's something that people think about in terms of just disappearing, because I've seen people leave their children. We see this in the Hasidic community specifically, where you're dealing with a cult mentality and they will try to take your own kids. So then mother will sometimes just bail and leave her own children behind because she cannot kind of deal with the abuse. So it sometimes even happens that way.
And it's a lot of emotional abuse. I could just imagine going through the court system, and then just that emotional abuse too of, knowing that you have to look like the bad mother, because you're saving, it's like you're saving your own life. But then how do you even reconcile, like, now you're a therapist, so they can come to you, like people, so the women come to you first, right? Or do they find you through like the advocacy, or like
people come to me a lot of times from Psychology Today, as a narcissistic abuse and cult abuse specialist, or they see me on a platform and they kind of want to find somebody who understands. Most of the time, therapists who don't get it will say things that are actually more harmful, like 2 sides to every story, or maybe he just is trying to tell you this. And so it can actually create more damage. So it's really important to find a therapist that gets it. And you can ask, if you're vetting therapists, you can ask them, did you yourself experience narcissistic abuse? They don't have to answer it. But I would answer it. And so I would find somebody who's like, yes, I have. And this is what happened to me. And that's why, I'm doing this work. So I think it's really important. And for any of your listeners, if they are looking for a narc savvy therapist, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I have a nonprofit that does referrals. So in your respective state, I will probably have somebody that I can, send your way. They may be overwhelmed, and who knows if they're even taking people at this point, but it's important to find somebody who understands it. You can't just have a run-of-the-mill therapist. I don't think it works in this regard.
I was gonna say that. And like, you're in Jersey, so you do like Rockland County. Well, that's in New York, right? So you do.
Well, I'm licensed in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Florida.
Okay.
I provide life coaching outside of those states. And if you are living internationally, it's no problem. It's just the United States that has all these stupid bureaucratic rules anyway. But yeah, I think it's really important to find someone who understands.
Right. And that's a part of it too, is the money, the financial abuse, because if you're constantly being taken to court, you're spending money, you're trying to defend yourself, your life is in shambles. At this point, they've probably, they'll do things like try to get your job taken away. They're not paying child support, whatever the situation is. So you're financially crippled. And then where does the money come in to be able to seek the mental health treatment that you need? Because a lot of women don't have access to it, and that's why this is so important, really.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, I usually will work with people on a sliding scale. I don't want anyone to be without services. I have clinicians that also work under me that specialize in narcissistic abuse that are also really talented. We do take insurance, but it's hard. It's hard to manage, the funds. It's heartbreaking if they don't have that kind of experience. I used to do group therapies. I try to do that, which is a little bit more cost effective, but it's really imperative that you do the work and process this kind of a trauma and talk about it. I mean, journal. I tell people just write it down. You can even talk to your phone, record yourself, do all of these audio messages, because if you don't do the work, you can actually get physically sick. This kind of stuff will affect your autoimmune system. So generally talking about it with your friends, they may be tired of hearing it, but that's okay. Your real friends will hold space for you. But I think continuing to sort of say it over and over and over again is where you develop a callus to it, almost like exposure therapy. So over time, it won't be as scary, let's say.
I definitely agree. Like, there's times, I've said how many times me and Chris were on the phone, and we're like, literally, I'm repeating the same thing over and over because I'm still trying to process or understand, what is the I guess the word salad. I said sometimes I'm like, how is this possible? It's just so and like I said, you just make it, you feel crazy. But
and I think that, somebody commented, there is a lot more resources now. There are a lot more resources, but there's also this deficit of resources, from my experience anyways, trying to find legal help, trying to find mental health help, trying to leave an abuser in the past. And it's just I do hope that this is something that becomes more pervasive, is knowing that women, not only do they need an exit strategy, but they need to have a mental health plan in place, because a part of that long-term abuse to the victim is breaking them down mentally and, like you said, physically. And if you don't have that support from a team of doctors, mental and physical, you will be broken down, and ultimately these people, these narcissistic abusers, will prevail.
And it seems like,
it's really hard to describe something that is really hard to even understand yourself. And so, managing the sort of traumatic experience in terms of flashbacks, managing all of the things you have to do in your own personal lives on top of that and recover. It's an awful lot. I feel so, bad for anybody who's experiencing it, because while most of it is just garbage and intimidation, as you guys started talking about, there are also these versions of it where it's the Scott Petersons and the Keith Ranieris, where they're actually particularly fucking dangerous. So a good amount of it is this peacock feathering, and then a good amount of it is I could be murdered. And so, we have to honor the severity and the safety of everybody involved. And I oftentimes tell people to send their attorneys and their friends a video of themselves describing that they are A, not suicidal, if that's in fact true. B, they know how to swim, if that's in fact true. C, they don't do drugs, if that's in fact true. They know how to drive a stick shift. So I always say, if you're if I find your body in a car filled with cocaine, I know that you weren't doing cocaine because you have chronicled and laid this groundwork, because they will do things like that. They will poison you. There's all kinds of things that psychopaths get involved in. So it's really important to lay the groundwork in terms of like, you know, all of these things, and let everyone around you know, so that you know, so they don't get away with it.
And I saw too, like, I was reading some of your stuff, and you said, like, if something happens and, you know, you make sure if you can go on your social media platform and just make a statement like, this happened to me tonight. I just need to let everybody know, like, you know, like, so this and this happened, just in case, like, because I mean, running a police report is one thing, but like, so your friends and everybody know that like this has happened to you, so the police can't, you know, get paid off, or I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I would just chronicle it, as I mentioned, send a message to like 5 of your friends and your lawyer, you know, just a video of yourself describing all of the things, as I mentioned, that you think they could do to you, as run you off the road. Like, I know how to drive. I know how to swim. So if you find my body in the water, obviously it was put there because all of these things, right? So like
Cassandra Peterson.
Yeah. So just managing that, I think it's not only is it wise, it's also very empowering. I think people think it sounds scary at first. What do you mean I have to do that? Well, try it. You might feel empowered. It makes you feel like, yeah, fuck you. You're not going to get away with this. If something happens to me, everyone's going to know it was you.
When I called the National Domestic Violence Hotline right after my last abusive major incident, that's what the woman told me. If you feel, you know, better or safer talking about it, then talk about it. Because the person I was dealing with had told me, I mean, that he was under investigation at one point for murdering his wife and children. And, you know, things that were red flags that were really weird and bizarre. And like you said, you don't know whether it's posturing and lying and manipulation and gaslighting or what to take seriously. And so I felt like I had a responsibility to myself to put that information out there so that I would be protected and safe, because I really don't know. You don't know what anybody's capable of.
I feel this. Yeah.
Yeah. It's important to lay that groundwork, and I'm glad you do that. And I really would, you know, I think it's beneficial. As I said, it's also empowering. People get scared of it, but if you try it, it feels a little different than you might think.
Now, these aren't like, so these relationships too, like even when these people have moved on, they seem to still want to abuse the people they're with. Like how, like certain situations, like how long, like will that go on until, like you said, they go broke, or like, because I mean, how long could this possibly go on if you've moved on with they've moved on? You would think if somebody moves on with somebody else that
it never stops. It's
like them or a new like source.
It's literally, I often say it's like herpes. It never goes away.
That's right. You did.
Debbie Newell from Dirty John, we know, and is a friend of mine, described when John was murdered by her beautiful daughter, Tara, in self-defense. She describes that she knew that even if he went to prison, he would never stop, that he would torture her from jail. And so the only way was for him to expire. And she's told me that. It's an interesting thing, but it really just never ends. They do it for sport. So there's something that we can do in terms of radical acceptance too. It's like it's like somebody's just poking you all the time, and you just over time, you're like, okay, this mosquito is still always going to be here. It's like, it's like having a personal terrorist.
Right.
And yeah, you're kind of like bobbing and weaving and, you know, managing it. And it's really draining and exhausting. But hopefully we can kind of have some victories along the way. And there's a ton of silver linings in terms of, you know, collaborating with others. But it's hard. It's not easy stuff.
No. And I guess even, you know, I've heard so many people say, like, you know, even when they've been to prison, they go to prison, you feel free, but not really. Like, because I still feel like you live in a mental prison, because I will find myself literally still questioning things from so long ago. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, is it me? Was it like, you know, and it's just like, and then also it could be a parent as well, right? Like, it's not just like you grew up with a narcissistic parent and then think that, like, hello, like you would think that you would get away from something like that and you would never marry somebody like that or be with somebody like that. And then you realize that you have, and then you're like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
You know, and then
So guys, I have to hop off. I hope this was helpful. As I mentioned, I don't go into any of my own story very purposefully. So if you could just respect that, that would mean the world to me. And just kind of keep that out of the dialogue, because it's just, as you know, a big
Right. It's still.
So, I wish you guys the best.
Thank you for coming on and telling us some signs of narcissistic abuse.
Mind you, if I link your stuff when we're done, like
What's
just
that?
your like the teletherapist. Is it called teletherapist?
Yeah, so you guys can find me at TELLA therapist.net, or on Instagram at Vanessa Reiser LCSW. For any questions, I'm pretty easy to find in terms of, you know, resource. And I just wish you guys the best. I know a little bit about your backgrounds and the things that you've endured, and I give you both virtual hugs, and I'm super sorry for what, you know, you've gone through and what you might be enduring now, but just keep at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys, be safe.
Bye. Happy travels.
Bye.
I will definitely link all our stuff before we go. So thank you so much, Vanessa, for doing that. It's definitely not, we know that it's not easy probably for her to come up here and do that, because, you know.
I know, but it must be empowering. Like,
I was going to say that it has to
being
feel
a
good that you're not getting-
therapist.
Yes. That's what I was. Yeah. Like, I was shocked when I heard, like, I was like, oh, wow. Like, it's that bad. Like, I didn't realize how bad they could be and how dangerous they can be and how scary until, like, really, like, I started really looking into her stuff, and I was like,
It terrified me when I heard her episode with Dana Wilkie about my situation. That was like, you know, I always say I'm too stupid to be scared. And like, I'm not trying to be funny. I really am too stupid to be scared. And when I heard her like lay out how they won't stop and they'll just continue taking you to court, trying to sue you, whatever it is, or, you know, the custody stuff, whatever. It really did scare me. Like, it messed with me. I was like, this sounds terrifying.
And that's the
what?
thing.
But you have to be a final girl. I mean, or you can let them do it and just go away, or you can be their final girl and end them.
Is that what that means, final girl? Like, and like, I was wondering what that meant, final girl. Okay,
like
so
in a horror, you know, like in a horror movie, yeah.
And like, you be the last one they do it to. You mean like, it make sure you can like, okay, make sure you get rid of them, or make sure they go to prison, or like make sure they're the last person, the last victim that they have.
My whole objective with my abuser truly, I think, was just to make it so that any woman who thought they were in a relationship with him could Google him and be able to make an educated decision.
This is the thing. I know you can't say his name. I'm going to
move over to my desk so I don't lose battery for my phone, but I'm here. Or for my computer. Sorry, girl.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So, like, her abuser has tried, is made it so basically like she's defaming him, okay, with lies and stuff like that, which is not true. He doesn't, you know, like, we're not going to say his full name, and you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. I keep saying the CUNT word, CUNT liar, or we can call him, you know, NT liar, but you guys know exactly who it is. And this is not about her being a scorned ex-mistress, because she went into this relationship under false pretenses. I will link, before we do, like before this is over, once it's over, I will link all of Vanessa's stuff. Obviously I couldn't put her on the thumbnail. I didn't want to, you know, I just didn't want any problems.
You don't want to put her in danger. That's what's so sad about all of this. Like, the fact that we're not even openly, openly allowed to speak about our own lived experience because of fear. Yeah. Like, that is terrifying. That's not okay.
Thank God that people are able to actually watch this play out. And then, but like, also, you know, people are exposing her abuser, and, you know, for what happened in court. That was the scariest thing for me. Like, that really jarred me. When, you know, a judge sided with that person with the crazy situation that is.
She realized how corrupt the court is.
She's fighting an ongoing fighting, and she's an advocate, and she's helping other women. And like you said, it's got to be so empowering. Like, I'm so glad that she has not run away. But I don't know. Like, it's the best thing is to, like, you always say, they don't have any access to at all.
I've
And like, I think
literally
maybe
thought about that. I've literally thought about just completely changing me and the kids' names, going off
not
grid,
that, not
like
that, just like, no.
disappearing.
That's what I don't want. Like, that's what.
That's why I'm trying to raise money
Yeah.
for my legal fund.
That's
You
another-
guys, I've been sent a cease and desist. I'm not allowed to talk about my own abuse. And yeah, if you want to donate to it, I have PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Patreon,
Yeah.
literally anywhere.
I pinned everything on the top of the chat, but I'm not pinned it. I put it in the top of the chat, but I will repin it.
So it looks like I've been threatened with a lawsuit. This is the second lawsuit. And so if I do get served, tomorrow or today, whenever I do get served, I'm going to have to hire an attorney. So all of the money I get is just going right into a fund for the attorney, and then it'll be go time, I guess. But like Vanessa was saying, they enjoy this. And that's why, that's why I am worried enough about it to be like, okay, maybe I need to go ahead and get a legal fund together.
That's the thing too. So I put everything in the chat. I'm going to redo it now, but all of the money, because you guys always ask me, why don't I have any, like, why am I not monetized? I have it, but thank God I'm not. All of my Cash App stuff, if you guys, anything you send me, I never ask you guys for money, but from now until she fights this motherfucker till the end, any fucking money I get is going to her to help fight him, because
I even told everybody on my Patreon, I was like, I'm keeping receipts of everything and you can all have your money back if he doesn't sue me. But he sent me a letter Saturday morning, a demand letter saying basically, don't talk about me. We were never in an affair at all.
Wait a minute.
And just basically, I'm not even allowed to speak about my own abuse and my own lived experience. My current stalking order that I have coming up on me that I have to go to court for. Yeah. I'm not supposed to talk about that either, but it's like
the first one, right?
I didn't do any. Yeah. I mean, why am I not allowed to publicly defend myself? That's something that maybe I'm just being crazy, but I feel like I should have the right to publicly defend myself.
Because listen, he's public. Okay. Just because he's not saying anything right now, like there's nothing on his website, his 1985 website that reads like a freaking bad after school special or like some infomercial. Okay. The blind items, not only that, there's like this after we go through like what she's going through, he's going to be in trouble for a lot more shit. Okay. Because he's like, if everything that we're saying or everything we say is not defamatory, it's truth. What defamatory is when you say that she's a liar and you haven't been in a relationship. Do we have to pull up the receipts? Like, and everything that is what I'm just gonna pull it up, forget it. So everything, okay, so they're in a relationship. So when you start this relationship with him, it's false pretenses. He told her he was single. Nobody knew who NT Liar was. Okay, now they do because it's all over the place. Like our friend
I'm gonna
Danielle.
go grab my drink. Keep going.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So Danielle has also done this case. Danielle, our Gossip Girl, has done a really good thing on her. And the entire timeline is actually in Cassandra's Patreon, which is Drenched in Drama. But like I said, please, if the money that she takes in her Patreon, that all goes like for her stuff. I didn't want her to have to like tell us the story because she gets money in her Patreon for that. But the receipts that she has of everything are in there. And I do this even if you hear the story through me, like it's worth hearing it. Like. And I've asked her to come on and just you guys seeing her face too and her being able to like talk to us live because regardless, we are live. Like on Instagram. I'm turning it on right now. We are live and I'm on 5 platforms. So hello, Twitter. Hello, everybody watching. I see all of my people here. Thank you for showing up and appreciate. We will be on here as long as we can. You guys know, like it's only been 40 minutes. You guys know I can talk forever. The fact that he is saying they've never been in a relationship for F's sake. Okay, let me pull up the proof that you were. Okay, sir. Can we do that? Yeah. It's just pictures. I'm telling you. Like, okay. So the timeline, basically, she answers under false pretenses. Okay. Online relationship. Start doing what do you start doing? Podcast episodes together?
Around August 2022, we started doing podcast episodes together.
You hear how long ago? That wasn't that long ago, guys. Like, so he represents himself as single, correct? A single old lonely man with a baby carrier and literally in a closet somewhere. She's this young, beautiful, hot girl. Okay. Why wouldn't he be attracted to her?
I don't think so. But I think a part of it, is to like,
you just reach out to be like,
you know how hard it is to do content every day
Yes.
and to
Yes.
get new ideas, right? And
Right.
I was like giving new content,
but you
I
guys,
think was a part of it too.
I mean, very quickly though, like you and enter in some kind of like, I guess, online relationship.
Well, and
right?
it was so weird, Krista, because like he could see me and I couldn't see
Oh, yeah.
him.
Yeah, I
Can
felt
you
that.
imagine like if we were doing this stream right now and like you couldn't even see me, but I could see you? And then we're like texting and emailing. And I'm like, you're so hot, but like you don't even get to know what I look like.
I didn't realize how long that. Okay, now do you
That's
guys?
so weird.
Okay, listen. First of all, you guys know that reality TV is our thing. Okay, blind items I thought came out once a year, twice a year. This liar come out 10 a day. So anytime a blind item comes out, guys, please just laugh at it, because whether it's true or not, his website actually says that he makes it all up. I just want to warn you. But anyway, that's just me throwing my little side notes in there. Anyway, he also represents himself as an entertainment lawyer. No, you're a family law for like a week or something, and then you cannot, you are not famous, sir. He had her thinking he was so famous he couldn't show his face, right? Because he's a liar, right? It's not hard to find his name. You know what I mean? It's like, so when it came out, I was just like, oh, and it's, of course I'm just okay, that's what he looks like. I'm like, then I'm realizing like, oh, he had an affair, but he lied. Okay, so but literally by the time, what was it, like 3 or 4 months later, he was he's in California, by the way. She's in Florida. This is different states. This cost this man money to leave the state to go be with her and her kids. So under false pretenses in a relationship online, finally,
he couldn't have gotten farther away from his family if he tried in the continental United States.
If he was going to use somebody, he could have done it in his own state. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird. Well, he did. I mean, he tried to go to lunch with Dana Wilkie.
But I mean, that's lunch though. Dana's in Florida though. Dana's in Florida.
Oh.
Yes, Dana's in Florida. So she's let's spend time in
well, there were more lunch dates. I mean, lunch date is a whole thing. No, but yeah, go ahead.
If I told you if I say his name, guys, like, I mean, not his name, but like if I said, I don't want to say his whole name, but Cunty Larry, like, you guys know that that's a blind item person. Like, nobody, it's just weird. I'm not.
No, you have to like explain to people even who it is for them to know who you're talking about. That's what's crazy.
You can't say, but I can.
And so it's like, dude, I'm trying to talk about what happened to me. Like literally the abuse. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of especially the legal abuse. Like she said, like it's never ending. And it feels like it gives you this feeling of like impending doom or dread, because you never know when they're going to file another frivolous lawsuit against you. I mean, this man accused me of sex trafficking. I'm the second woman he's not the second woman he's accused, but like has litigation with and has called me a sex trafficker.
Okay, let's back up, because first off, she was not there. There's a whole in between here. Okay, so in between this, so it was like that first Christmas in 2022. He came to be with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know where he told his wife was. I think it was Big Bear or something for Christmas. I don't know. He goes to Florida and he spends time with your children. He engages with the kids. He gets to know the kids. He is also paying for things. He's living there. Like, I guess staying there for now. Like, you're in a relationship in a different state. He comes to basically live with you. You still have no idea he's married, right?
When he comes, the first time I didn't know. And it's just for his birthday. But then when he comes the second time, it's because I find out about his wife. And I'm like, we're over. And he's like, I'm coming there anyways. I don't care if you want me to come.
It's not. It was first. Let me just clarify. It is only.
I do have a whole podcast about this, you guys. Yes. It's called Drenched in Drama. So I have put a ton of information out there. I'm almost in like it's a little too late boat.
Yeah. Like, you guys know, I wanted to argue about this. You guys can talk about it. You can say the names. We cannot. I mean, actually, she cannot. We are only talking about, like, it's literally.
I mean, I can. There's no court order stopping me from talking about my abuser, but I'm trying to restrain myself.
Yeah,
but it's extremely hard because I really don't feel like I should have to tiptoe around something that someone's actively coming after me. I mean, this person is still actively coming after me
Yeah.
daily.
Like the details of her story, we can talk about. We can talk about all of it. It's not dangerous. It's really not.
But yeah, his wife reached out to me.
Pretty much.
And well, it's all, I mean, we do have a podcast. It's all out there. She reached out to me and told me he was married and all this, and I didn't want to be with him, and he came here anyways. So
but okay, so the sex trafficking thing, his wife is the one who started with these DMs. She has no idea this person's DMing her, right? Like, you didn't even know at first, right?
Oh, I'm talking about Diana Jenkins when I mentioned sex trafficking.
Oh, I don't know that.
Diana Jenkins was
a
real housewife that sued him.
Yes, remember
for calling her a sex trafficker.
Oh, because of Jeffrey Epstein stuff. See, I didn't even.
But it wasn't true.
We don't know how. He's such a loser that I wasn't paying attention. And we talk about housewives 24/7. So, like, he I think settled in that thing because he was wrong, right? Yeah,
he came to a settlement. Yeah, but I mean, he said a lot of untrue things about her in court filings, and that's just something I want people to understand. Like, I am not the first person he has lied about in court filings. I'm not the first woman he has come after in litigation, because he could have dropped that. The case was against him, but he could have walked away and chose not to. And I just think that that's important to realize, this is a pattern. And like Vanessa was saying, like, it almost seems like it's fun to them.
Yeah, which I don't understand. Like, everything. So the thing is, now he's trying to, well, he first of all, it was she is under, his wife's telling him they're divorced, separated. There's a whole bunch of stuff. He's saying that
he sends me a divorce paper, which is a fraudulent court document, which his cease and desist that he just sent me demands that I stop saying that he forged a court document. Well, I mean, I have it. I don't know what you want me to do. You did do that. Yes. And I'm going to show it to the judge. Yes. I'm sorry.
The DMs are like literally, okay, so when you get into this whole thing, like, his wife made Cassandra believe that he was into little girls, right? Like little, stuff like that. And not only that, she basically called him a SA person.
I've documented every message she sent to me. I don't think she explicitly says that, but she says he has all these weird fetishes. He's tried to get lots of women he's been with pregnant. He
don't let him around your kids. Don't let him meet your daughter.
Yeah, don't let him around your kids. I'm so sorry he met your kids. Stuff like that. And I've documented all of that because, I freaked out. Like, I was like, excuse me, what? And then as soon as I freaked out about the fact that this person had been around my kids, the story changed. They both changed their tune completely to say, oh, no, she's just an alcoholic and she was just mad that I'm moving on, blah, blah, blah. You guys are going to live happily ever after. He totally loves your kids in a non-creepy way. And then he came back here, and I literally let a predator, in my opinion, allegedly, I let somebody into my kids' lives that I shouldn't have ever, 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 ever. There was like so many red flags. You could fill 10 books with them. And I have to live with that for the rest of my life. And I'm not proud of that. It doesn't make me feel good to know that, but I just want other women to know so that they aren't as vulnerable as I was.
The lies are the worst. Like, the worst part is the lies of the thing. Like, when you tell somebody that you are now, like, first of all, he said he wasn't married. Then we find out he is. Then he says she's a drunk. She's in rehab. She's losing her mind. I can't leave. I don't know. The kids where were the kids? Supposedly somewhere. I don't know.
At first they were fine with her, but then all of a sudden maybe she unalived them and herself, and the police want all this gaslighting, lies, manipulation. And I'm like, look, I forgave you for the fact that you were obviously a cheater. I forgave you for the fact that even though, okay, you're telling me she was awful, but whatever.
She was sympathizing.
I'm forgiving you that you didn't tell me that you had kids because you were embarrassed or thought I wouldn't like you, is what your story is. and that you're a celebrity or something. And I've forgiven you for all of this. And now you're telling me that, you know, your wife's going off the deep end because you're leaving. If you,
It's not allegedly. It's all
if
true.
she knew
We have all the proof.
that, if she knew that if you guys were actually separated and just living in the same house to save money and there was nothing romantic, like you and her both told me on the phone, then why is she going off the deep end? It didn't make sense. Nothing ever made sense.
No.
But she, you know, I have no idea what her involvement is, what her knowledge is, if she is an alcoholic, if she has abused her kids, like he said. I have no idea. I really don't know because he lied so much that I will never know the truth of what went on there. I just know that both of them told me that he did want to be with me. They were separating and he was moving to Florida and everything was fine. And then once he got back here, she messaged me surprised that he was here. So apparently there were more lies in between. I don't know.
I mean, the fact, this is what I don't understand. At one point, she's on the phone with his wife, him, in the three, and they're in, I don't know, taking a kid somewhere, like I don't know, like, and he's like,
yeah, driving to Sky Zone. They have me on the phone, on speakerphone, talking to their kids, all this with the mom, all this weird stuff. I mean,
why would she not think he was lying? Why would she think he was lying if he also then comes to spend Christmas with her under the, you know, he has a wife, but like, okay, I've forgiven you. He's leaving her. He's left her. She's not, you know, not in the picture anymore. She's crazy. She's going away. I'm going to come spend Christmas with you and your kids, your family, your grandmother. I mean,
well, obviously when she went off the deep end, you know, this is what this is just what he was telling me.
Right.
And so he tells me that so he can go back, you know, and then she thinks that he's broken up with me, which he hadn't. And that's when he started sending me, you know, video of him masturbating, audio, that 9-minute audio that's like basically torture porn. Hundreds of Zoom links for me to watch him masturbate. You know, he continues contact with me for the entire time after he leaves until the day he serves me. Like 32 minutes before he serves me, he texts me, "I love you."
Yes, I was going to try to find it right now. So
literally, this man filed a stalking order on me at the courthouse and then went home and sent me a Zoom link and masturbated on Zoom to me and waited for me to get served. So, I mean, I understand that you really shouldn't talk about somebody when there's active litigation, when they send you a cease and desist and whatever, but I'm not lying about anything.
We're not lying. It's all right here. Oh, sorry. Where'd it go?
And
okay. These
it's
are just
sick. It's sick. Yeah. It's sick what he did. And it's really scary. And I don't think that women are aware that these men are like out here doing this.
And it's, I mean, like, you're in my life. Like, it's just like they were in a relationship. They were in a complete relationship. And it just doesn't, you know, the DMs from his wife are the worst, but like, I don't know how I can pull this back up. I'm out of here. Oh yeah, there we guys are. Like, you know, like, and this, okay, the defamatory thing. They're saying they were never in a physical relationship. How are they never in a physical relationship? Like, now he's putting in, it's a new lawsuit saying, oh, first it was a stalking order, right? Like you said, like, you think he's coming to pick you up and her kids. He has her pull her kids out of school, right? Or out of therapy or something. And they're going to move to California. This is
all their therapies for occupational therapy, speech therapy, feeding therapy.
He's paying for it, taking the child. He's taking her kids to therapy, picking them up from school, having dinner, like, you know, living there. Christmas here. I'm sure Christmas was amazing with him. They're going on vacations. Now, everything is, I have all the receipts. I don't know if you guys really want to pull them up, but like, everything is in her Patreon. But like, it's the DMs from his wife. Cassandra's like, I'm so sorry this happened, because she made it seem, first of all, like their life was perfect in November of 2022. And then our life blew up. But then she says he's been cheating all the time. He cheats all the time.
If you try to make sense of that, and nothing will ever make sense.
That's
It doesn't. They both talk out of both sides of their mouth 24/7.
It's crazy because like even
they
us
deal in lies and fuckery.
Yes, and it's like I was reading all the traits of it, of everything, and then like on that thumbnail, just the thing about the Scott Peterson, like the lies and the way that he also, not only are they in this lying, he's lying to her, they're in this relationship, he's also abusing her, okay? Not just physically, I don't know how much you want to talk about, but I mean, she had an eating disorder, okay? She left a relationship that was, she took her kids and left, like 100%, like she picked up her kids and left. You know how hard that is? And then you have to go and you have to like process what you've done with your 3 kids and your one, their special needs. And she's an amazing effing mother, right? And this man comes along and he literally, he sells her a pot of fucking gold. Literally. Okay. He waves his little baby carrot in front of her. You're going to have a great life. And of course she's going to fall in love with somebody at our age, right? We're not, you're 10 years younger than me, but like, he's like,
I kept saying like, Shauna, he's not my type. He's not my type, but he's really nice. He's so nice.
Her best friend. And
little did I know.
We're laughing only this one part because I was listening to her and Dana's Patreon going, I'm telling my friend, I just kept repeating, she just kept repeating it. He's not my type. He's not my type, because she thought he was this lonely old man, but like, when maybe he's, this entertainment lawyer and he has money, but like, of course she's going to fall in love with somebody that like that. Like, we don't really look at
like he's older. He's responsible. He has a real job. Like, he's not like my drug addict ex of the past, a child. Like, he's an adult man.
Who's like literally, and, having him, they're going on like those little vacations and like, I don't know. It's wild to me. Like she forgives everything that he's doing. And then he starts with the court system with a stalking order. And even after he files it, there's 2 things I know wholeheartedly that I will not stop talking about this because I believe 1000% about this man, that he had plans on the end game for him. He was going to Chris Watts or Scott Peterson, because why would you be so crazy? Your ex-wife, everything he said about her, I'm sure that's how he really feels, right? I don't know if he had planned on really leaving her, but I really believe that it was closing in on him. He fell in love with her, and she was willing to be with him, even though there's kind of abuse going on. And I mean, like, they have sexual deviancy, these people, these men.
And that's what Vanessa, when Vanessa said that, it was so interesting to me because she's saying basically they fall into 2 camps, right? The ones that are just peacocking and then the ones who will carry it through. And, and I thought it was weird, like the red flags of like, he told me stories of it. Like, what? And when and you've always said that since day one to me, like, this is my opinion, and I've always told you, I disagree. I'm like, no. But like, I've also, through the entire experience, my whole family, something's wrong. No. So I don't really trust my judgment at this point. You know what I mean?
The lies are so wild. How couldn't it be true? Who would make something up like this? Think about it. Who would make up that their wife is in rehab? They're drunk. They haven't been together. I didn't tell you about my kids because I didn't want you to think I was a bad dad. I'm going to come and spend Christmas with you. Why wouldn't she believe he left his wife? His wife then says, yes, he's in love with you. He's coming to be with you. And then he does it again.
Leaves me a voicemail saying he's obsessed with me.
In contact every effing day. And when he's not with her, he's back with his wife who's not drunk, who is just literally losing her mind, because actually I think he actually talks her into not, but Cassandra still thinks that she didn't believe he was really in a relationship with her. I don't know why, because there's all the she has all the proof. She knows exactly what he was doing and where. She still doubts herself, saying he was in Big Bear. This is his wife. I believe wholeheartedly, because of the lies and the way he talks, and we can, the lies are just like Scott Peterson. Oh, I thought that he was this great father and he was so great with my kids and he spent Christmas with us. And he's like, think about Scott Peterson said he was in France at some kind of like fireworks thing at work on New Year's Eve, but really it was at Lacey Peterson, his wife that he murdered, on a live memorial. Think about it, right? Chris Watts, nobody had an effing clue this dude would ever do what he did. But everything he did, his mistress thought all these weird, like everybody thought, believed them. They lie. We know who the peacocking one is, guys. He's the abuser of
It's
the other
so
person.
scary. It's so scary. I never even realized that there were men like this out there. Like I guess I knew
Right,
about like
right,
Lifetime movies
right.
or true crime, but it was so
Why do you think?
esoteric.
But why? And I keep saying to her, why do you think? Where do you think these Dateline episodes come from? Where do
Mhm.
you think that these? Think about it. Look at Pascal on here. Pascal, the Pascal show. Every day, he's twice a day he's live about somebody that's missing or unalive. Like
Well, I just think I think I was living in a nostalgia bubble, I don't like it
he wasn't like it's
to
not like he
engage
was
with news or true crime or anything because it's
right.
just so crazy and upsetting, but you would never think something like that could happen to you.
And then he has people now. His new thing is that she was like, first it was she was extorting. He's told his wife she was extorting him for money. That's why he stayed in this online relationship with her. No. We are on the same page that she was at her house. He was spending time with her and her kids. He was living an absolute double life.
If I was extorting him, why won't he show one piece of evidence of this? If I was extorting him, why not go to the police?
Every piece of evidence that we have is from Cassandra.
He collected hundreds of videos and pictures of me. He literally took my time, my work, my life force, my soul, and he used me for sex every single night for 13 months until the day that he served me.
That's another thing. Like, I didn't realize that there's this other trait of them where they're into, pubescent girls.
Anorexia. Can I read you? I just did an episode. This is on my Patreon right now. If you guys want to support me, you can always donate to my legal fund or join the Patreon. But I did a Patreon episode today. And I want to read you guys the description. It's Drenched in Drama is the name of the podcast, but it's the fetish to pedophilia pipeline and pro Anna. So today I'm talking about my own struggles with an eating disorder and delving into some serious topics, including true crime, pro Anna fetish, abusers, and pedophilia. There are various types of abusers who target individuals struggling with eating disorders. Some may pose as friends, coaches, or can be online influencers with access to vulnerable fans on social media platforms.
That is nuts.
Regardless of their role or platform, these abusers are all motivated by the same desire to exploit and harm those who are already in fragile states. So I just did a deep dive just into that connection. Like you just said, there is this weird connection between people that are into pro anorexia fetishes and people. There's a crossover with people that are into child sexual assault material.
Wow.
Which is scary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrifying as a mother, as a woman, as a human. That's just a terrifying realization,
I want to so he would leave her crazy messages. Okay. I know I think I played it before. But it's just the message he would leave her about her losing weight. It sounds like a movie script. Let me see if we pull it up in here. It's just, and this is the person who is giving us our blind items. It's I know that people have fetishes. I get that. That's their personal life. They have a whole separate personal life. But the way the predator part of it is he's going and he's still allegedly, we think he's got somebody else, another person that he podcasts with that might be going through the same thing, might even have a child with him. And who knows what that whole story is, right?
I think Vanessa said, they just cast a net.
Right. And see who can
it's a numbers game. It's like sales.
And and when you even get rid of them and they, think about this, somebody, you got away from this person, right? You broke up with them, you ran away on your wedding day in your wedding dress. You decide, thank God she ran, right? That's January of 2020. By midsummer 2022, he's engaged and married to somebody else. They said nobody moves on faster than a narcissist. They have these love bombing. The love bombing thing too. I always experience that, and it's you think that's, oh wow, I think I kind of feel I go I fall really hard, so I just assume that's what that is.
You think that's love. It must be love.
Right. And you think that you feel it too, and I guess maybe with you, the distance made it more exciting, I guess, because you feel like you want to see
I
them
was
so bad.
getting so many text messages, so many phone, it's nice to have any of single moms out there could probably relate. It's just nice to have somebody to talk to at the end of the day or asking about your kids.
Talking to your kids.
Yeah.
Do you want to
helping with report cards, helping with therapy, everything like that. It's nice to have that backup.
Yeah, like I don't we're not doing this because she got broken up with. Like he could have just done that. This man could have literally just said, I don't want to be with you. I'm sorry, I'm not doing this anymore. Staying with my wife, but he didn't.
I tried to leave him multiple times. That's what's so crazy. Even within like the last month, I was like, please just leave me alone.
She literally has messages saying that, right? So how does he then get a stalking order on her when she thinks he's coming? They're in a relationship. What do you mean?
It's a revenge-driven injunction trying to basically ensure my silence.
For what? Breaking up? But you didn't even for what? You thought you were moving in with him. Silence for what? Because if he broke up with you, you might expose him as who he is.
As who he is or what he is. as what he is.
Those court papers say who he is. Like once he stopped,
it's not about who he is. It's about what he is.
But like honestly,
you know what I mean? Like I don't
even have thought of anything of it. Like, we would have never figured out that he was this narcissistic abuser unless we went through your entire thing. You know what I mean? Like when you went through your entire time, it didn't make you.
I would have just been another crazy girl like Jen tweeting about him into a void.
Like, and I feel like the buzzword of narcissist and gaslighting is like, oh, everybody uses it. That's not what this, like this time, like this is us finally knowing what the definition of those words are finally. And now we're recognizing it in people that either we've known or seen or are not dealing with. And this is beyond that. Like, guys, like he also was into like unaliving. Like his fetish was to unalive somebody. Like that's what people say, like before they actually do it. And like, it was getting so scary for her. Like, I don't know, like this sexual deviancy, like you can only take so much of it, like if you think you're in love with this person.
I mean, I can read you a text message from a message that I received, and I actually posted this to our Drenched in Drama Patreon today because it goes along with the episode I did, and it doesn't have any names or anything on it, but it just says, make sure you tell me how much you weigh this morning so I can monitor your progress as we get to the first of 3 goals. 129 is the first, 125 is the second, and 120 is the third. That might actually be too low, especially to sustain, but I want to see it before you get pregnant.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah.
Well, here it gets kind of worse. Like, I don't know how much of this we can say on YouTube without getting banned. I'm
not monetized, but you just say, like we can. Yeah.
Okay. I want you so weak and tired that all you can manage to do every day is a little bit of cleaning and spreading your legs and opening your mouth. You will be so hungry that you crave me coming in your mouth. So you will scoop it out as much blank as you can, just to get something in your body to eat. I want you to be so tiny and perfect and your bones sticking out that it bruises me every time I fuck you. So it definitely, to me, feels like you want that person to be almost unalived, like you said, like on the verge of death.
Right. I think I have his thing. I think it's right here. Hold on, let me see.
Which, if you have an eating disorder, I mean, obviously, trigger warning. That's a total fetish thing, and I guess I didn't even know that this was a fetish.
Didn't either.
Another fetish that I was asked about: is it a fetish that I have about your perfectly smooth underarms?
I think this is it. Hold on, guys. This is the one that we've already.
You said prepubescent, small, hairless.
I didn't know, and I asked her too, and I didn't realize. Okay, so I didn't. When I asked her, I was like, "So why does it? Why?" I've seen men want to like be really, really skinny, but I didn't know why. And when she told me that, it blew my mind.
And the hairlessness too is weird. I don't understand. And I think it does all fit together. Yeah, it's weird.
It's trigger warning. I'm gonna play this message that he left her. I think this is the one. It's like 1:06. Is it when it says like 1:06 or something?
If you're playing that from your email,
yeah.
No.
Okay.
Go to my Instagram.
Okay.
Because the ones I sent you in the email are unedited, and I don't want you to get in trouble for anything that might be.
Yeah.
Like, I think I sent you court stuff. Like,
yes.
I'm not even sure. It might not be properly labeled or something, and I don't want you to play something crazy.
I know.
Yeah, but on my Instagram, I have everything pinned, like right up there on Drenched in Drama and Cassandra. Oh, go to the Cassandra Explains or Drenched in Drama. If anybody's listening, you guys want to donate to my legal fund, I've got one going on PayPal. It's Cassandra Croce, Crose. Venmo at Cassandra-Croce. Cash App, money sign, Cassandra Explains.
Yeah.
Venmo at Cassandra-Croce.
Sorry, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. I just figured I'd do that while you pull it up.
Yeah, do that because even my Cash App I'm gonna put in here again too. Thank you for sending a lot to me too.
But you should be able to play some audio right off of my Instagram.
Yeah. Let me post your things real quick again. But guys, like, it doesn't even, he went from putting stalking orders on her, right, but were completely like didn't even make sense. Then I guess I don't know if he has dropped them by now, like the first ones that he ever even did to begin with, which I'm saying my point is he didn't have to do that. Here's her Cash App that's going in there right now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is all. He's threatening to sue me because I won't stop talking.
But this is the thing. He's the one who started this court thing to begin with. And then she went in public because she needed to get support from people.
Just play the audio. These people need to know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm gonna play. I think they've heard it before, but I'm gonna I just want to put your things in there real quick. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time, guys. That was Cash App. We put PayPal now. I was trying to pin it earlier, guys, but like, you guys know I'm a psycho in the morning. I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm gonna be late. I was really worried about Vanessa. I was just worried.
She's so kind and understanding, and she seems like a master sage of like all this knowledge on narcissistic abusers.
Her abuser is constantly still going after her. You know what I mean?
I don't know how she can be so like cool, calm, and collected, like through all of it.
Like, I started going into like, she documents a lot of stuff, and I was like, then just recently the court system failed her in my county, in our town, like where we live, like failed her big time. It's scary. It freaked me out.
It's terrifying.
Thank God, it was. I mean, Dani exposed.
I think you should talk to Kel Mitchell's ex-wife. She also had a similar experience with court corruption, narcissistic abuse, and she's involved in the whole Nickelodeon stuff.
Yes, that's another thing you do. So there's
we're good friends. I'll get her in contact with you.
Like, I want to start doing more of like, I want to do more episodes with you too. I think that, like, I don't know. I think that we continue, like, you have to continue to talk about it, I think, but like, I don't know, like the court system, I don't want them to stop her, but they haven't stopped like any of us really. Like, we've gotten any legal, like, I didn't get anything. Tiffany, well, he didn't know about me, but like, he could have been in the Patreon looking, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, copy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, I haven't said his name. I didn't even have to say what he really did. I don't even have to
I know it doesn't help my current case probably, but I'm just like I said, when I called the domestic violence hotline, they told me if it makes you feel better to tell people that, what's going on and that you're feeling scared and this is why, then do that. So
mine and hers, like I said, everything I have, or if you guys donate to me, her, or whatever, to me, everything from now until this is over with, until everything's going to go right to her. Like she said, she keeps receipts for everything. This is because literally she also has to get therapy for her daughter, okay, and her kids, because she pulled them out of therapy to move to California. They also had a relationship with this person. They don't understand breakups and like mistress. They don't understand what's happening. They just think one day, like, where's he at? Where's this person at? And like, he spent Christmas with them. And if like two of them are not, you know,
He
old enough.
got on the phone with them and told them that they were moving to California.
You're seeing from Instagram. That's right.
Like, who does that?
I know.
That's like next level psychotic. Had my child picking out electives for a new school, everything. But I'm so happy that it didn't happen. I'm so happy we didn't move, because I would have been moving in with a lunatic. This person was literally capable of God only knows what. Because when I go back over these receipts, like,
yeah, where is this one? You did send me the one and you sent it to me through Instagram, right?
Just go to my Instagram page.
Instagram. Oh my God, sorry.
Yeah, just go to my page and it's pinned. There's some audio pinned.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There's tons of clips on there too, on my reels.
Oh, that's right. So you guys, this is nothing that's not out already. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, honestly, like, and it was only just a recommendation for her not to talk about it from her lawyer, which I feel like he's not threatening her life. You know what I mean? Like the domestic violence thing or the DV, that was like, you know, it was real, but like, I don't know. Okay. Would it be the first one?
Yeah. Try that first pinned one.
Right, guys, you ready? Right, you can see me, right? I'm not gonna. Oh crap! I can't hear. Oh, hold on. I have to unmute it. Hold on. I forgot I had that muted because I didn't go live. All right. Not mute slate. No. Sorry. Hold on. Not mute slate. I'm gonna mute it here. Sorry, guys, I'm retarded. The streamer's not muted. You can hear me, right? Oh no. Did I mute myself? Can you guys all hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, sorry. All right, Cassandra. Okay. Oh, okay. Start it over. System.
I don't hear anything, but I'm so stupid. I can literally just play it from my phone. Hold on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you do it. I didn't know. I thought I just played it.
I drag you to the bathroom by your hair and get you on your knees and shove my fingers down your throat until you puke all over the floor. Now that your mouth is all wet with your vomit, I shove my deep down your throat until you puke again. I do so until nothing comes up any longer. I shove your face down into the floor and tell you to never eat junk again, and then tell you to clean it up and shower and apologize to me for not being the perfect trophy wife I deserve.
Like, okay, you little baby carrot person.
Yeah,
like,
so that's what I'm dealing with.
She
I do have
for him. You lost 30 pounds, right?
Obsessed. Yes.
That's like that really angered me when I realized that he was making her lose weight when she has an eating disorder. I didn't, like the deep dark stuff that was going on with them. Like this, like I said, like this person wasn't just like they were in a loving relationship, but like he has a sick fetishes that went beyond the relationship. Like he wanted to get other women from other countries. Like where's the one about the poor women? Like he wanted to go buy one or something in a different country. And
let's see what this note is. Let's see.
I drag you to the bathroom by your hair and get you on your knees and shove my fingers down your throat until you puke all over the floor.
Same one. Hold on.
When I first actually interact with him, it's in the middle of my own personal crises and I'm at my lowest point. You understand, right?
Yeah.
And he, like I said, just seems to be there, kind, empathetic, listening, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one of the women that he threatened.
Oh, is that Derry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Derry Kaplan, she was also on Dana's Patreon. Yeah, there's other women like
it's crazy the stark difference between like the voice note he sends me, but then like what he presents to you in reality, like you don't see that side of him all the time. He's like so nice for you, there for you all the time. Let me talk about your trauma and like help you and
like, because like they're, you know what I mean? And like think about like they're in this relationship, right? And I know he's in love with her, probably, I'm sure. And then all of a sudden he cuts it off. Like he just cuts it off and like, hey, I don't know if he had to convince his wife that this wasn't really happening and they were being extorted. And they're not. It was not extortion. Like, she did not want money. He was sending her money. It wasn't everything she had to receive for kids' therapy. Like, this was a relationship. He wasn't going to just leave his wife. I think he was going to do something way worse.
I
What was
never would have consented to being with somebody who was married. He literally proved to me he was
the whole thing?
divorced. So I don't consider this relationship consensual whatsoever.
No, under false pretenses all the entire time. It's not like he said keep a secret. When do we keep? I'm staying married. We're going to be a secret. No, he was like
No.
recording out. Then you have a million episodes that you guys either you were listening to. They were in constant contact. They also recorded episodes at this time. So everything on her, it's Drenched in Drama that Cassandra explains. Is that your Cassandra explains it?
Mhm. And
That's
Drenched in Drama, our Patreon. You have to search it. It's Drenched in Drama 25, number 25.
Like it.
To be able to find it. I don't know why Tiffany said it like that, but that's how it is.
And Tiffany, well, that's like what one of your best friends, right? And she like witnessed this stuff. So it's like
yeah, every time we'd get on FaceTime, she's like, "Why do you look like you're dying? Like you need to eat."
He convinced her parents. Like, he met your parents. Like, it's not like it wasn't a secret. He met her parents. He convinced her parents, right? That he was a great guy.
He had met my whole family.
He's
Yeah,
great
I mean,
at Christmas. Who does
my
that?
mom did not like a lot of my parents. Definitely were not feeling it though.
I mean, but didn't they also say something like, well, if he shows up for Christmas, then, oh, wow, these are crazy. I just read the ones you said. If he shows up for Christmas, then we know he's really divorced, right? Because who spends Christmas with somebody that has kids at home and a wife that doesn't know he's leaving? His wife is thinks he's in Big Bear. I don't know what, like a retreat or something. I don't know I don't know. And then she finally realizes that he is at Cassandra's. And then she starts to spiral. And then she's asking Cassandra over and over, you know what, over and over for literally her address. I think that if she's just as crazy as him, I'm screaming, don't give it to her. But like, it's I'm like listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm thinking, my God, why do you keep? I gotta find it.
Here's a Tori Spelling episode we did where he's talking about Tori Spelling's weight, and this was after he filed the order on me.
You guys gotta also realize he does what's
I weigh 107 pounds, and you can come weigh me if you want. So Star Trek, go over there and weigh her a couple of times, and she just didn't, follow through on it. But I think that. So if you think about she's 100 pounds or so now, I think she weighs more than that now, but but it's also probably why she's rushed to the hospital all the time and why she's, has headaches and other things happening to her. It's because she's not eating. And if you don't eat for long enough, then it shuts your body down and bad things happen to your organs.
Why is he how's he anything about her life though? Like
that's an episode that him and I were recording about Tori Spelling. During the time he says I was stalking him, and I find it relevant because he recorded it with me on video. I have the full recording after he files a stalking order on me, and also the fact that he's so obsessed with her weight. I find it really bizarre.
I can't even believe that he all right, first the entertainment layer. What is it? Punky Brewster or something? And it's not true. It's completely not true. His wife tells her he's a liar. He doesn't know any of these celebrities. He makes the blind items, of which we know that now. He makes up the blind items. So it's like, we don't even care about this stupid blind item. I mean, I rarely hear about them. And you guys know we talk about this stuff 24/7. By the way, Cassandra doesn't know anything about housewives. She knows not a goddamn thing.
I'm a nostalgia podcaster. Yeah, I do nostalgia movies and TV shows.
Nothing about
everything from Rugrats to Garden State.
And I'm like, what? We get along so well, but like, we're gonna have to do episodes of like maybe Pretty Woman or something.
Yes, so, Pretty Woman would be great.
Yeah, because Dana makes a reference to him being like, oh, kind of like Pretty Woman, he wants to come rescue. And I said, yeah, but she got stucky.
But anymore, like I don't like learning the background celebrity gossip, like true, like I just don't like going to find the blind items, stuff like that. It's like I don't care anymore about that kind of stuff because it makes me sick to think about.
This is the difference. We talk about we recap the shows that are in real time. We don't make up gossip. Him and Dubois make up gossip, or they find gossip, okay, allegedly. He actually says on his website, so those line items mean nothing. We don't even really get them. Nobody looks for gossip
It's
when it
big
comes to
for his imagination, he says.
Yeah, what he does is not what we do. What he does is he just makes up things. And if we talk about what the shows that are relevant every week, every day, and pop culture that's happening right now, like this is like I'm doing this episode because not because he talks about housewives. I couldn't even tell you. I didn't even know he had a website to get to. Okay, it's called.
Well, he makes a lot of money and he's able to bury me in legal. So if anybody wants to donate to my legal fund, please do, because I am going to be sued because I'm talking about this.
I don't think you are. How can he that you haven't not gotten?
It doesn't matter if truth is the ultimate defense to defamation, but they can still take you to court. They can still serve you with lawsuits. They can still force you to.
Would it be defamation? It wouldn't. He would have to do defamation, right?
He can do anything. Anybody can sue anybody for anything.
But we're not defaming him because what we have is true. Everything that we're saying is true. He says,
and he knows that, but he's already gone to 3 separate courts and tried to file things.
They won't take it. They keep telling him to get away. They literally told him to go get a lawyer. They actually told him to stop doing this. Yeah. They're trying to literally. So he had her. I keep saying the wrong word. Is it disposed or deposed?
Deposed.
Deposed. The worst thing you could do to somebody basically go ask questions about the relationship. And it was everything that would prove him being a effing liar. They're pulling up all these things. One time after he filed this thing. After they recorded episodes after it was filed, the restraining order. She's like, "What is happening? Call me in 10 minutes. Like, you better fucking call." Like literally what any other girlfriend would do. I don't really want to drink this because it's gross. And any girlfriend would do because he's supposed to be picking you up to go move to California.
The whole point of the deposition was just to terrorize me, abuse me. That was the whole point of it. That's all it was.
They just asked questions like, were you really would you send this message? Did you send a message? Because if they asked her real questions, because we're trying to get him
they didn't want my answers.
Right. Well, why would they want her answers? They're going to just prove that everything would be coming out that he's the liar. If she tells the truth. So we get him to post. It's crazy because she should have representation. She should not have to pay for this. Why? He's taking her to court. And that's the sickest thing. You can sue anybody for anything, but because people won't really have the money to defend it. I don't know what he wants from her. He wants her to what? Not, we don't even know what's he want you to do.
He wants me to suffer. But he feels entitled to abuse me and get away with it.
But that's all you know what I mean? That's all. Not legal. I mean, it's not like legal paper, right? So this thing, there's no restraining order. He can't get a restraining order because she didn't stalk him. There's proof that he stalked her. So that's going to be thrown out, right? Then he's maybe if a judge decides, it's all up to a judge. But you didn't stalk him. He was on his way to pick you up. Remember?
It doesn't matter because now he set up this scenario. The court, it literally doesn't matter. Anything can happen in court.
I know.
And he set up a scenario where I was surprised of even getting served. So of course I was going to reach out upset. So that's not going to help. And then, after that, now he's telling me to quit talking about it completely. And I haven't. And so a judge might say, I don't know I don't see that happening, but you don't know. And that's why what Vanessa said is so important. The courts can also be abusive. I mean, this is all manipulative. This is all calculated. And it's just insane. And I've already had to spend almost $2,000 defending myself against something that I've never did.
Well, she needs the money, but she needs to talk about it also on her Patreon.
Yeah, and I'm being told not to talk about it.
Yeah, but she needs the money.
So you're gonna allow this guy to freaking publicly abuse me, and I'm not allowed to speak about it.
We're not saying his first name. That actually says we cannot say his name. We cannot say the other thing, the initials for his website. I don't even think I have not said the other thing. She's not made one episode. Have you made one episode other than talking about narcissistic abuse? I don't think you have
since I got served with the newest order. I haven't. No,
she hasn't talked about it. Other people have. There's also publications coming up. That's not her fault. They're asking her for her to call her, ask her for her side of it. She gives her side of it. That's not her giving them permission. They're going to do it anyway. He can't. He can't stop the publications. He'd have to stop me, not her. I'm having her on. I literally. She has not once said anything. She's not referenced him like I have. I mean, you can't prove what I'm talking about. I'm making this all up. I'm all that. This is all hypothetical, okay? Everything I just said was all a lie, except for the things that are true. Okay. Everything I said is a lie, except for the things that are true, except for the things that are not. So, and my opinion is my opinion. And you guys know that. Like, nobody's ever really, the only one person that's ever tried to stop me. And that's the other person's abuser. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Everything I've ever been in trouble for was in reference to that other person. And we all know.
There's so many similarities, so many polarities with it. It's crazy.
He's the one he's the peacocker too. He's the one who peacocked, right? And we all know that, guys. Like that anonymous day mask fell off real quick, real fast. And like obviously I can't tell you guys that my relationship with his ex, because it would just cause a lot of stuff. But like she's so nice enough for at one point in time reach out to me. And we talked, and I want to promote her book too before we get off of here.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull her book up too. She's so Vanessa.
And one of the things that you with the messages, from the wife that you had seen, where she says, we're going to lose our house because of this Diana Jenkins lawsuit, and he doesn't even care. It's cost us $40,000. I mean, he is prepared to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars to go after innocent women. He doesn't care if he loses his house or his career or anything. He's pathological, in my opinion, allegedly. But it's not really alleged when it's like, actually, I have the proof. So I don't know how that works.
No, how does that's the thing. It's not none of it. Okay. If I say alleged, it's fine. I say alleged, but then
it's like I can show you the message from in their own words,
right? like I have all, you know what I mean? Like I could pull it up, but I mean, like literally, his wife is the one who said that he was a weirdo, sticky person. You know what I mean? Like, when you guys talk about bedroom talk, that's one thing, but like, then the wife is coming out and saying they're talking about his sex life with her. What are you supposed to not believe the wife? Like, why would his own wife say that's crazy? You would definitely believe it because that's why would his wife make it up? Why would somebody's wife make that up about somebody if they're not truly like worried about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you know what? Okay, that's another thing. She has said, okay, he's this monster, blah, blah, blah. Why are you still with him? Like, why are you with him? You said he's cheated on you numerous times. You're not the only one. Like, how many times is he going to do this to me? My life, but then her life was perfect before November of 2022.
You are sending pictures of your husband's jerk towel with your child in the background to random stranger and women on the internet. Your life is not perfect. You need to do some soul searching. Like I have.
She's also went after Cassandra on Twitter. Publicly went after her. Cassandra's never gone like everybody else.
Kids talking about my children. I should be in jail for going against her husband. I should I just don't bother to take my kids to therapy. Just sick shit about my children. So it's like, they don't stop with you. They'll come after your kids. They'll come after your family. There's no limit to what legally, there's no limit to what these kind of people apparently will do from what all the research I'm finding.
Oh wait, here's all the stuff you sent me. Okay.
But yeah, promote Vanessa's book. Yeah. And then I have to get going soon because I'm going to have to actually go pick up kids from school.
Yeah. So her book is, it's called Narcissistic Abuse. It comes out in September. I already ordered like a copy of it, and I think I ordered you one. I don't know if I sent it to you yet, but
okay, cool.
But yeah,
thank you.
I mean, I think we should support her. Like she also would like to do other episodes with us. Like maybe if we do a separate thing talking about this, because I mean, what she's fighting right now is outrageous. Like I'm scared. I'm scared for her because I just can't believe, it's already been reported what, that person has done. Like there's two people together. The person that he said has gotten all the information on the cast member that what he's done, guys. Hold on, let me get my EpiPen. Because, I'm allergic to shellfish. So I start talking about it. Anyway, yeah, like it's actually like one of my subscribers made it up. They're like, well, just say you're allergic to shellfish. Because I'm the one that says he looks like a lobster. And, like,
I can totally see that.
I mean, my dad is the only other person. This is the other strange thing. My dad is the only one I've ever seen get read like that. They have the same nationality, live in the same state, live in almost the same county. my dad has high blood pressure and he was a drinker. So when he would get so upset, he would get just that red.
I've definitely known people that get red like that when they get really mad. Like they go into like that full rage and they turn red. Oh yeah.
You guys have seen it. We've all talked about that person and how crazy it is. I mean, we even like joked about it and asked them, like they would ask them out on the show, like, why do you get so red? and I'm like, I believe high blood pressure and he's an alcoholic as well. And I say that, I just put her book up, guys. It's just a link to it, but I'll like permanently link it before we
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's going to be really helpful.
I mean, listen, because like we are saying, oh, these are buzzwords and stuff. Like now we're calling Tom Sandoval a narcissist. If you guys listen to how we describe the narcissist, that's not Tom. That's not what that guy is. Okay, so she's like, who's Tom Sandoval?
Yeah.
But like your story, like, even if she has to go, like I can also, do my own thing and like show you guys more stuff. But I do want you to go to her Patreon, please. Like it's $6.99, I think, $6.99 a month.
There's a bunch of different tiers on there, but really, if you want to donate to the legal fund, that's the most important thing, truly. Yeah. And I put out a ton of free content. On
your Cassandra Explains It All, also, and on Drenched in Drama, which I've linked all that permanently, link them in the description. Also,
that's where the episodes are. And like, if you want to make a donation to PayPal or Venmo or Cash App but don't want to join the Patreon, I can still send you all of the content from there. It's just that Patreon takes a huge cut and Tiffany's going to have to pay all the taxes on it at the end of the year. I'm literally trying to get legal funds together right now.
Yeah. So basically when we started Patreon, it was to gain the money, but now you put out the content and people donate to you. That way they don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good. There is a lot of episodes already out there on Spotify too, Apple.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like I think 5 or 6 free episodes.
Yeah, and this is the timeline. Like it gets very guys.
Love you, Dani.
Love you so much too. Like I forget. I keep telling her if she doesn't have a YouTube channel, she's gonna have one soon. She does.
I know.
Because like going live, like I realize on Dana's Patreon, listening to you, it's so impactful. But now seeing you too, like it's like people can see you, and like hear you tell a little bit of it, and like listen to what Vanessa said and the similarities, because we're not crazy. Like I everything that he did, it's described in this, in all of these things, like all of the stuff that Vanessa said, and you guys also see what her abuser still does there, and he's married to somebody else,
and it's scary. I mean, it scared me when honestly when I learned about her, it really did terrify me.
What's the judge side with the person that and admit to that what the patient did is fake? I mean, come on, like if that's not stalking, and I don't know how does that make. I cried because I was like, I couldn't imagine how she felt that day sitting in front of lady. And there's so many women like that. Like there's another girl that she's in jail right now for unaliving her.
Yeah, you were telling me. Oh my God. Oh.
She's and if you guys hear her story, I'm going to link her story. Her name's Nicole Alamato. She's still fighting to get out. She was so abused, and he terrorized her for an entire day before she finally took the gun and shot him. And then she thought that I was just like she's in prison, guys. Like that nobody believed her except for her friends and family, and like the judge didn't believe her. She was. Like people in my life have been arrested for this stuff, and
it's so sad. It really is. That's why I'm glad. I think it's important that you do episodes like this, and I know it's not like the normal thing you typically cover, but I'm glad you had me on anyways.
No, I'm glad to. The people were asking. At first, I was like, I didn't want you to be overwhelmed because the publications are coming out, and it's hard to sit there and talk about it a lot. But then too, we talk on the phone a lot, and then
we were on the phone when I got served with the cease and desist.
Oh my God. She's like, hold on. I said, don't say any. I was like, she's like, why is there a fucking process server at my house? I said, don't accept it. Don't accept it. He was nice. I mean, I don't know. Like he sounded like a nice.
He was a sweet old man. So I felt like I should be nice and just take it.
You're like, oh, and she said his name. And he's like, yeah, him. And it was literally like, to make her stop talking again. Like, why are you trying to silence her? This is not just a scorned ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, because he's saying it didn't even happen. They never had a relationship. Why would all this be happening? Why would we have all these proof of your messages, sir? Think about it. I know you're probably going to watch this and see this. You know that she has all the proof that you were together. Why didn't you just break up with her? Why didn't you just end the relationship and move on? Why spend money going after her? Are you obsessed with her? That's the scary part. There's no logic to what is he doing. Now he's trying to silence her. You could have just did that in the beginning by breaking up with her. He didn't have to go after her in court. He could have just left. You know what I mean?
He's going to keep throwing money at it in court, I think.
Thing is,
But
we-
metadata is a thing. So
But listen, how psychotic is it that he just did this for no reason? He could have just broke up with you. You never said you were going to expose him. He did. Did you ever?
and he could leave me alone. I mean, he continues to file crazy shit on me. Like, just
Guys,
leave
she's
me alone.
not harassed him. Called nothing since the thing
Drop your false abusive stalking order on me. Why don't we start with that?
And how about your wife is the one who defamed you, sir? Your wife is the one that said in the DMs the things about you being sick, the ones with the, come on, man. We hear you. She's not even trying to do anything to you. She's never tried to hurt you.
I don't want to have to go to court. I don't want to have to take time away from my kids. I don't want to be doing any of this. So, I don't know why he continues to keep it going, legally abusing me, but I'm going to talk about it until he stops.
Exactly. That's what he wants, though, right? He wants us to keep going. Then sure, we're going to tell you how much of a liar you are. You're an anti-liar. Like, it's sick that you think that you can sit here and still have episodes. People are still giving you content. People are still giving you great, like, people need to know what you've done. Like, this isn't a scorn deck mistress, like some Juwan, I'll say.
It's like, sound the alarm.
Somebody who's still getting big, he's still abusing her, and she's not trying to file anything against him. You have not done anything. She hasn't filed any charges on him.
I have not done one thing to him.
Nothing. All she's done is defend it, and she has to have her content on her because he makes money off it too. You don't think he's talking to other people just because he's not putting content about her? You don't think he's talking about her? He could be defaming her too.
What's he doing with all my videos and pictures he's taken for the last 13 months? Who knows?
Listen,
we'll never know.
He could literally put her, like sex videos out. You know what I mean? Like, this man is not. So, and this is not trying to, like, I don't know what we can do. I wanted to stop doing what you said. I wanted to drop everything.
And leave me alone. Like, just literally leave me alone. Stop your abusive fake order so I don't have to go to court and I can actually spend time with my children trying to get their therapies back that you took.
Like, honestly, like, he has not looked you in the eyes at one time. You have not had a chance to look at him and say anything. And
I don't really care. I don't care. I don't want him in my life. I don't want anything to do with him. Like, I just want him to leave me alone and stop having to drive to the Pinellas County Courthouse. That's literally all I want.
Away from her 3 children. She's a single mother who has to make content on her other stuff to live. She does not have all this money in the world to defend herself on things that you are going against her. She's not doing. She's not coming after you. Please just stop.
Liar.
Like, when this, like, honestly, like, everything that you put her through, I want you to stop doing it. Like, just drop everything, please. And then this is the only reason we're going to keep talking about it, because why not? She has to defend herself. You are literally making her. It's court record now what you have about everything you said about her.
It's a false abusive stalking order that I'm being forced to go to court for.
And he said he extorted. She's extorting him, and that was why. First, it was the relationship because he was over there because she was trying to extort him for money. Because if not, she was going to expose his name. You're not that fucking important. You're not that fucking important. Nobody really gives a fuck. Do you think anybody knows now? Everybody knows your name, sir. We're not saying it, but nobody's. What has that done? Does that made anything different? Nobody cares about who you are. That's the thing. So what do you care about people exposing you? That's nothing. So it wasn't that big of a deal for you to be exposed. That's not why you did it. Why are you?
And plus, I didn't expose him. I mean, I literally didn't.
It's wild. And it's like, she has to live in this every fucking day. And then
but he's still taking me. He could drop this at any time and not make me go to this court date. But instead, he doubled down and he took me to a deposition.
And she has heartache too. Think about it. Because she didn't know he was this awful, horrible person. She was in love with him. And she has to deal with the fact that he broke her heart too. And her kid's heart. So think about that part. So not only she can't get over him because he won't leave her alone. He never broke up with her in person. So yeah, maybe she has heart.
Taking to a deposition for a fake stalking order. I mean, that's the definition of abuse. I don't understand how there's any other way to look at it. It's so upsetting. Literally, I probably should go decompress a little bit before I go pick up the kids. Just because it's so upsetting, and it's just like I just want him to drop it and leave me alone. And then that's not like, but he won't. He just keeps doubling down and making it worse.
The content that she was like, let her go on with the content, like the stuff that
I would have nothing to talk about him if he would stop.
Right. Well, you have plenty to talk about. We could do Pretty Woman. We could do all 90s stuff. Like,
I would like to just get off the internet and leave and change my name altogether at this point.
But okay, babe.
But yeah, I mean,
it's a little bit longer, but I'll make sure I link everything. I mean, it's linked in there, but I'll link it in the description. And I'm gonna just keep posting her like PayPal and stuff on here because you guys know I'm on 3 days a week for 2 times a day. So
and you have access to so many receipts, and you have my Patreon, which you can share a screen and like go through that if you want and anything. I'm just gonna go get everything ready to go pick them up from school, and I'll come back next week maybe.
Yeah, like you're literally. I told her she's welcome any goddamn time, even if it's out Housewives.
And I'll talk to you later tonight, I'm sure.
Yes, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you so much.
Yes, I love you.
All right.
And I'll talk to you later.
Bye, girl. I'll keep watching stream though while I'm getting ready.
Okay. See, guys, I got her on. I was like, no, there's no legal letters like really kind of stopping us, but like it's just a recommendation. But again, like I said, this is like not what is she supposed to do with this? Like is that as they say, like there's a lot of people like she doesn't know a lot of these things, like as far as like she's just finding out all the law things and stuff. Like we just started really like she really going into it, and she's getting all these legal letters, and it's like she has a lawyer, but she has to pay for this stuff. So it's like people like however you thank you for coming on, JPJ. Like if you guys know anything about the legal system, like like I said, there's nothing saying I've not said his first name. He's a public figure. Everything is in the court documents. All of the receipts that I have that proves it's not a defamation. We can show. You know what I mean? Like I can say alleged now, but I can pull them up. But if you go to Dani Gossip Girl, I think you have most of it too, right? This lovely lady right here. She's so supportive. Thank you so much. Like, oh yeah, he ran for Congress. I forgot. That's the part where like, remember they say like, there's something about them being a part of, like, they want to be like a part of a corporation or like this, like, I don't know, like this wild, grandiose ideas of their life. Like, and you guys know the other person that's like that, Diddle's my best friend. He's coming to my wedding. And we're like, who's that? Old washed up. That dude. And then we're like, look how like he's working with him. You know what I mean? Oh my god, my EpiPen, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's, and then he ran for Congress. So he ran for Congress and with his first name, and that's all in his like it's all like, I don't know. I mean, like, and I didn't even know that he was a secret person. I didn't know that person that does those blind items was a secret person either. I thought blind items were like, like I can't tell you where they came from kind of deal. Like gossip that we don't have, that we can't what's it called? I'm too high for this. You know what I'm saying? Cite it or something, like the proof. So you send the blind element. It's like an anon. There you go. Like, oh, I heard that, Diana Jenkins is a sex trafficker, but like not say her name. I heard that this housewife is a sex trafficker. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what blind items are. I think they're bullshit sometimes, but sometimes they're true, but very, very rarely. That's so. Did he win? He didn't win, right? You know who else did that? Remember on Housewives. So this is like, guys, and also this isn't the Dear John thing with him is also kind of true. His wife said he was married 3 or 4 times. Okay. We have all the proof for saying that. Okay, married 3 or 4 times, and he had like his kids everywhere or something. He's even said that he had his children that he doesn't. They're like, I don't know if they're in different countries or something like that. Guys, everything. I really suggest that you listen to like a lot of her stuff. It's so I can play it for you. We'll do it on another one when it's not 2 hours in, right? You know what I mean? Like a whole separate thing. And like I'm going to bring her back because I want her to keep telling her story. And we don't have to keep talking about that. We can just talk about stuff. Because there's other things, guys. Listen, there's other things that this man is in trouble for. It's just not exposed yet. And it's not through her. She doesn't have to do anything. He's lied about a lot of like Hollywood people. Like he talks about corruption in Hollywood. I believe I thought this dude literally was just a housewife blogger or something. I had no idea that he makes up stories like about like I don't know what the Poltergeist girl. I think he's in trouble for that. Cassandra made episodes with him that were like, I guess, really really bad, like really, really defamation, not defamation, but really got somebody in trouble. And I was like, I remember the Diane Jenkins thing. I guess, like, you guys have to know this guy's not that fucking cool. Like, I mean, he's not what he presented himself to be. Like, oh, what, you write buy downs? I had no idea they're 10 a day. And the reason he makes money is because they have ad pop-ups. You can't get to the blind items because the ads pop up so much. It's like an infomercial in your head. It's like a bad after-school special. It's allegedly this pattern. Okay. Like, oh, I have my banner up in my banner. I mean, this is just, allegedly his wife has said this. Well, his wife did say it, but like, we're going to say alleged because I don't have the actual text in front of us. But, it's just wild. And you know, like, of course I wanted her to come up and tell her story, but of course I want people to pay to go to her Patreon. But she said at this point, it's like pay to help her. You can just donate instead of donate to her thing. And then most of it's free, the stuff we talked about. There's really the stuff she was reading, that's the deep stuff. Like, and I believe that is the highest tier if you want to see stuff. But like, you know, I just want them the art. And if there's somebody says, what's the purpose in doing this? To make awareness and for him to just leave her alone. Like, she will just go away with she doesn't have to drop anything because she has not charged him with anything. She has not done anything. She has not stalked him. She hasn't done anything but try to defend herself. I promise you, like, there's no, you know, and that's the truth. She really has done nothing but defend herself and talk about it. And it wasn't just till recently. Also, guys, he's never taken down the episodes they've done together. They've done a lot of content together. So how is she extorting him? Dani, isn't that the wildest part about this? She wasn't making him stay talking to her, Cassandra. He said he could have just broke up with me, you know, like a normal person. But he sends her literally a stalking order. And she's like, you're in California, sir. I'm in Florida. You're supposed to pick me up right now. Like, we have proof that you say, take your kids out of school, take your kids out of therapy. I have an apartment for us. He literally told her she had a whole, listen, the lies are so bad. It's like, this is the truth. This is in everything she has. He says so many times that he has a condo. Nothing about the house they live in. Even the wife backs it up. He's got a condo now. His wife, I think, had a condo too. And the kids were slowly getting to see her after she gets out of rehab because she's a drunk. None of this is happening. Nothing is true about this part. His wife's just, you know, home unsuspecting, doing her groceries and stuff. Like, and then after, I don't know what she thought the second time that he left, but like the wife thought he went to Big Bear again, let him leave. And he goes and lives with Cassandra for like, I don't know, I guess that was the Christmas part. It's just so wild because if he wanted to just have affairs and just have an affair and sleep with somebody, he could have did it in his own state. He could have did it in his own town. He could have did, you know what I'm saying? Why would he spend all the money she's in Florida. You're literally across the country. So you fell in love with her, I'm assuming. That's what I think. I think that this was something more than just like, it was more than an affair. It was a whole, I mean, listen, like vacations, staying together, like paying for things. It was a relationship. And it was supposedly under false pretense because he said he was not married. First, he wasn't married. Then he left his wife. He didn't even have to make up the things about his ex-wife. Well, it's not his ex because they were still married. He didn't even have to do any of that, but he did. And it doesn't make sense. Why lie? Why also say, and then at one point he lied. So he said something about like the police wanted to talk to him because his wife was missing. This is why he's with concern. And he goes into like a fake stroke over it. And of course, Cassandra believes him. Why wouldn't she believe it? Who would go into a fake stroke and lie about something like that? They don't know where your wife, I was like, I'm sorry, what? And then think about it. Not only is he lying and having a double life, he has to process. When does he have time to worry about it? When do you have time to worry about your lies? When do you have time to worry about how you're destroying? You would know that it's going to destroy either your wife and your children or your girlfriend and her children. You know that you can't have both. It could not keep going on. Just like Scott Peterson and Chris Watts. How could he live a double life for that much longer? Things were closing in on him. He was about to point, go pick up Cassandra. He says, I'm coming on a plane and I'm coming to get you and the kids. Like, and then, stalking order. Oh, the relationship's over. But the wife has said they were divorced and he's like an essay person with little kitties. I can say most of it. Like, you know what I mean? All of it is in I have all of the DMs. And it's like, I forget which ones are edited out. So like, we can, I'll get more of I was really nervous though, because I knew Vanessa was coming on and I didn't want to like screw up because you guys, I get stuck for talking and I didn't know what order to go in, but like, I'm just so grateful to her for coming on, and I wasn't sure how much I could really like divulge, but like I don't think I have to. I think you guys have figured out who she is. And that she's still fighting her stuff, and it's wild what's happening. And then it just came out, Dani covered it about the corruption and why she lost in court for that stalking order. And you know what I mean? And then now I believe they're in a lot of trouble. Yeah. And his wife sends a jerk towel and says, and like looking at his daughter, and this is what she's like basically insinuating he JO'd to his own daughter. That's what the wife is saying. So why wouldn't Cassandra then say, there's other things he's done? Okay. I'm going to tell you something. Okay. This is the worst part. This is the part that makes me cry. Her daughter is nonverbal. Okay. She was going to speech therapy or something, and he's taking her. Well, of course he put the lock on Cassandra's door because their bedroom is their door. Yeah, she doesn't want, I mean, we can say her name and everything. We just can't, don't tag anything. You know, she said once she was up there, you know, but, yeah, so he, I gotta link her stuff to her thing. She has her whole Instagram, guys. If you go to her Instagram, she said we could do all that. It just don't ever. Oh, we only think she couldn't. She was not allowed to talk about her person. And we really didn't have to because this is her profession. She's a professional in this, what we're talking about. So that's like the main reason for her coming on. And then, like she said, it's really, you know, if you can find somebody that is an account, like somebody like her that understands and isn't going to just do textbook therapy with you. It's important. And it's like, because she, at one point she didn't know where to go. So then she became the person that you go to, you know, because it's, you know, like I didn't even at one point, my friend, somebody I know, like we were so desperate to help her. We didn't know, we was like really nowhere to turn, you know what I mean? And it was like, you know, finally found some kind of advocate, but then, you know, everything got taken, you know, it's all whatever. But like, again, like they still can go after you after that. And it's like, that's the thing with Cassandra. What's the point of this? You could have just broke up. She has never tried to expose you until after this whole thing. So it wasn't, you weren't staying with her because of it, because she didn't do anything. Like she was in love with you, sir. Just like you spent, I see the 100 I love yous all. I have all of his messages to her that say, I love you, I love you, I love you. I mean, she doesn't have to convince me. Like I'm saying, this isn't like, let's just a hearsay thing. If this is her word against his, no. She doesn't even have to say anything. Every message is, I love you, up until the minute she serves, she thinks that they're still, you know, he goes and files the papers. You know how long it takes to get to Florida? I think like a day or two. This whole time, he's doing the same thing with her, you know, talking about coming together. And, you know, she has no idea he's about to break up with her. I mean, not even break up with her. He never did. He has not done that. That's the thing. That's the sick part. Man, that beeping's bothering me, but I don't feel like getting up and doing it. But yeah, so now, like, you know, I can do it. I can, in case nobody's ever told me I can't talk about it, but I'm not going to say his name. But she, you know, once she's gone, everything I have is everything she has on her stuff too, which is the free thing too. Happy Monday, guys. Cassandra explains it all, and Cassandra and Drenched in Drama all on Instagram. And again, I've linked all the stuff. I've linked all of my my Cash App is going everything. If you guys ever donate to that, that would go right to her from now until this is over, until he drops this stuff and she doesn't have to go to court. And then even after that, because I haven't, you know, I haven't monetized anything. And for me, like it'd be like, and like a little extra cash, I would give right to her. I would donate right to her anyway, because now she is my friend. We do talk a lot, and, you know, I don't talk about my past, but I do with her and I do with Vanessa, but like I'll never talk about it on here. So, because, you know, I just feel like it's not, you know, you guys know it doesn't matter. Anyway, but we have a lot in common. Like, I just, you know, I really, really I appreciate her coming on, and Vanessa, because it is hard for them to deal with what they're dealing with. And then we have to, it's in front of our faces. It is so done. Exactly. I mean, think about it. She is in love with a man. Okay. This man, she's in love with him. And then it just ends and she has no closure, except for he's dragging her through court for what? Like, why even involve her children? That's my thing. This is like a sociopath that I've never seen. It's just not even like what he's doing is there's no rhyme or reason to why he's taking her there, other than he wants to keep up. He wasn't, listen, with this got to stress him out to keep like, you know, going to court. I don't understand, unless he wants to keep contact with her, like some kind of stalker thing. Because I really believe he was in love with her. Like, what was the end game, sir? Think about it, Dani. What was the end game here? what was he going to do? He couldn't, move his whole another. He couldn't have two families. He could barely manage the two families, one in Florida and one in California. And I say families because he was taking her daughter to therapy. Okay, her daughter's nonverbal. Then he also slept in her bed with her. Okay, this is something that Cassandra has, she put this out there. This is why she was so worried about this, because she did not know that the stuff that his wife was saying, she found out later, but he was sleeping in the bed with her daughter because she had nightmares and night things. And she used to sleep with Cassandra. She's a single mom. So, her daughter slept with her most of the time. And I think she would come into Cassandra's room. But then when you have a guy there, he put the lock on the door so they could do their deviant stuff. But then why are you, he offered to do it because it was like, yeah. And this is the part that you guys don't understand how sick. And look at, I'm exposing a predator. No, I'm exposing somebody that's still predator. He's still doing this to her. He's still going after her. But this is why the things that he's alleging in the court papers have to do with what I'm saying right now. This is not something. He's also his wife. They're saying that they accused him of as saying, no, your wife did. Cassandra hasn't accused anybody of anything. She hasn't filed anything. What she said was, your wife said you're a predator, and I feel like with our sexual deviancy, you might have been. You were sleeping with my daughter. Did you touch my daughter? You know what I mean? She's allowed to ask that question. This is why we need to get him deposed. It costs a lot of effing money. And why did he do it to her? Because when he does it to her, it's going to prove that all her answers know what she said, because they wouldn't have. There were all these text messages right between them well before the stalking order started. So I'm so lost on how this man, he won't show up. He has not been. I don't get it. He is just going, and it's like, I think 3 different things of first extortion, and then now it's lying. They never had a physical relationship. We have proof that there was a physical relationship because we have pictures. You know what I mean? And how many times? And it's I don't even know. But see, I don't think he's ever. Did you think he's ever had somebody in a different state where he would go to their house and literally live with them and involve their kids? That's what I mean. I feel like him saying that, him doing this all the time, allegedly. But how many times can you actually have an 18-month relationship affair under false pretenses? How many times could you do that and not get caught? Is what I'm saying. So what was this like? Was this something that led, maybe he was having affairs, and this is, the build up and where how and then you actually do. And listen, he also talks about, his deviancy involves unaliving his person. And that's something that I've heard serial killers do. Like the guy, what was it? The B2K killer, their deviancy, it's that makes them okay. So listen, that's what he was having full blown. Now this is all on her Patreon, and everything is really, she says all this. He was having a full blown rageaholic person because he couldn't unalive her. And that was the scariest part. He's not even a lawyer. He's a lawyer, right? But what is he, a family law lawyer? Yeah, this is the thing. And then this is another thing. It bothers me. When do you have time to process this, the horror that you're causing? When your wife finds out, your kids, or when this all comes out, aren't you stressed out? How do you, when was he ever, he couldn't. He was either one with one or the other. And then he was also recording with one or the, you know what I mean? So this man doesn't have feelings. He doesn't have, if he loved her, I don't know what. I'm just so, listen to me. I'm lost on what he's doing. I wish he would we have to get him deposed. I don't even know what to say. She's I don't know what, the fact that he's calling me a stalker and blah, blah, blah. And then we weren't in a physical relationship. They were in a physical relationship. Oh my God, there's pictures. Here's the pictures. You know what I mean? I can't, the fact that he literally, okay, this is the one here. He refused to drop the false stalking order because he doesn't have. Yeah, he's getting served. I mean, he dangled a whole baby carrot in front of her, a whole life. He dangled the carrot in front of her, and then basically it was a baby carrot. She found out it was a baby carrot, and she still loved the man. Okay, still loved him. Look at this dude. This is him, and I don't have to block out his name because who cares? It's public record, and I think this actually might be insane. Something any stuff going here. I think. It's just nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts. He refuses to drop the thing. It just, he gets served. I guess it's a thing I can play. I don't know. And he's still literally making he's making content nothing's wrong. This man knows that he's destroyed his woman and probably his wife too. I mean, if his wife was spiraling, guys, when I say spiraling, a tax lawyer, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I don't think he's ever had an entertainment thing in his life. We didn't know who the hell you were, sir. Sorry. We don't know who the heck you were. I don't know who you were. Nobody knew who you were. You weirdo. But, sorry. Yeah, there's this thing. So, I mean, like, where's this? This is all on her thing. You can just go to it right now. The things from his wife are the wildest things. Oh, how beautiful she is. She is so freaking beautiful. Oh, isn't she? Oh, she is. She's so gorgeous. Like, I just lost it. But, like, how dare him? You know what I mean? Like, how dare him? Like, for real. There's so much content, right? That, like, they did together. What a loser. You're such a loser. You hope you hear me. You are a fucking loser, dude. Here's the tail thing, Like, what the fuck, guys? I mean,
Thing is, I truly don't know that I registered how abusive it was at the time, because he would often say things like, well, I don't hit you like your ex. And I would think to myself, well, yeah, me and my ex were fighting. Just the in real time gaslighting of being able to tell somebody, yes, I am hurting you physically, but you like it. And you have to like it for me to love you. Thing is, I truly don't know that I registered how abusive it was at the time, because he would often say things like, well,
that's from her page. That's actually just from her Instagram. Yeah. He is like, that's what I mean. Like, she didn't register any of it because she was living with him, like living in it, like at the time.
I mean, I'm looking at this paperwork, Tiffany, that we had just read a few minutes ago, and I'm thinking to myself, it didn't even dawn on me that I was in another abusive relationship where I was allowing a man to choke me. That's really scary, that it was such a slow burn, that I had totally convinced myself, and he had totally convinced me, that he would never abuse me. And he was the farthest thing from my ex, like, that could possibly be. And so to actually look at it like in my own handwriting and be like, holy shit, I can't believe I let this happen again. It's just heartbreaking. You know what I mean? And it's humiliating. Like, I don't want to admit to my family or anybody that this happened,
No, I do know. Right before we started recording, you said this is so humiliating to even have happened, but especially to admit to. And I know how bothersome it can be, because you realize you've fallen victim to something, and then you have to relive it all the time and have people critique it. And we are fully aware that, we put this content out there, but you're doing it in response to your name being maligned and attacked.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this paperwork, Tiffany, that we had just read a few minutes ago. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not doing this to be, oh, look how.
It's just been a lot. Thing is, it's just been a lot. It's been emotionally taxing, but I don't have time to sit and really think about it or deal with it, because I have to work on more court stuff, because he just continues to file things on me.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like there's any end in sight. And that's what's really frustrating.
That's why we're like, seriously, it has to end. There's no end in sight. You know what I mean? It's like, why? There's no reason for him to keep doing this to her. I know we're 2 hours in, but like, I appreciate everybody that came and still watches, and that you guys, my subscribers, I know you guys, some of you are already on the Patreon, but and like I said, you also see with the other person, like what just happened here in my town, where I live, that person, and yeah, it's very corrupt. And I couldn't, and I said, obviously I said, oh my God, this judge was paid off. There's no way. Like, it's just crazy that somebody could decide whatever. And then wants to go further and talk about it on his wife's Patreon. Oh God, his wife's, I'm sorry, podcast. And it's like, that's abuse. Like, you really want to do that and tell the whole world like how fucked up you are? But you're showing us, like, you showed us. I stuck up for that person for a long time. I said in the very beginning, don't believe the exes. Remember, I said people show you who they are. I said if he'll show us who he is. If he's what all these people say he is, he will show us. And he did, and he still is. And all the signs that this therapist that we have, like she's a therapist about, and she talks about this all the time. She's a licensed therapist. All the signs, I've had them in my life. Cassandra has them in her life now. Nobody sees. You don't see it in the beginning. They love bomb me when you think like. Honestly, I fell so in love with my ex. Like I fell so in love with my ex. Like, it was, you know what I mean? Like, it was another relationship that was in a relationship that didn't have, with no emotional connection, right? So the love bombing in the beginning is like, you think, oh my God, finally, I met this person that's like, loves me so much. And it's like,
thing is,
it's interesting how
she was at piece of
how in his real life he portrays himself as very liberal. I mean, he literally ran as a Democrat and plugged Bernie Sanders, for his congressional campaign in 2018.
Hi, this is John Nelson, and we're at the Ventura County March for Our Lives, where we're joining all these high school students and other students who are sick and tired of having guns in the school. Part of my campaign is to have the national standard be like California's standard. We're going to ban assault rifles. We're going to make background checks mandatory.
While he simultaneously on the internet was posting pro-Trump stuff, QAnon conspiracies. It's all so strange, the different ways he portrays. It's interesting how in his real life he portrays himself as.
So one of the traits of them is like this, like grandiose life. Like they make up this grandiose life, and we know. I mean, I don't know if you know, but there's a. I want you to if you ever want to hear about the other person, like on Dana Wilkie's Patreon, his ex-partner goes into a lot of the things that like he saw being done, like, and just everybody in their life's afraid of these people. It's kind of scary because they do, I don't know how, but they have this, like, I think it's their energy. They have this really, really strong energy and it's hard to combat it. Like, like I know the person in my life, like she's somebody that you don't control her. And it's like, that was a battle to be with somebody who was controlling, you know what I mean? And, people fight, people get in arguments but my friend, like she was not, it was scary, but like, things calmed down. I don't know, and at the time I didn't know anything about this stuff and then we realized that my ex was like, yeah, that's the stuff too. Like I'm like, I'm like literally defending like her love life things, you know what I mean? What the abuse part of it, there's all this other stuff that like I don't know how people aren't, I don't know too much about QAnon. I just know what I channel and stuff for my own personal like spirituality and stuff like, and like the conspiracies, that's not really CIA made up that name. Okay. They made up that definition of conspiracy, but the QAnon stuff, I don't even know much about that. Like, but I just feel like he was supporting, and also I forgot like what he did to Diana Jenkins too. Like, I don't know. Hey, Dustin, I know you called me. I'm going to call you as soon as we're done. What time is it? I don't know if do you want to do, okay, let me just really like backtrack or side note real quick. I want to do Beverly Hills later or something, or Beverly Hills, and me and Dustin are supposed to do Single Life. Do you still want to do Single Life? Or what do we do tonight, Dustin? Remind me. My brain has been literally, remember when I was late the other day? I was talking to the other person. I was talking to my other guest and on the phone, like we were talking in the morning. That's what made me so late. And that's why when I came on, I was just so drained because we just had discussed a lot of stuff and, we did. It was just, I really, I like her a lot and I really care for her and I care. You guys know how much I can't even, my selfish allergy, but how I just lose it. Just go look at my reels. I mean, and then to find out that like, he's doing this, it's like, I feel like they're still in love with that. Like they're trying, I don't know what it is. They're trying to hurt that person, but it's the only like, connection they can have to you. That's the saddest thing is I don't understand. Like that other person's still going after somebody. You are not with them anymore. You're married to somebody else and he's still abusing her through the court system. For what? That's what's scary. What are they doing? Like, are judges not looking at this? Like, this is nuts. Are you safe? Like, you know what I mean? It's not safe. And like she says, so many people, they just want to like fake their own death. Imagine what it's like having your personal, your whole sovereignty. You lose your entire identity. You have to run or like fake your death. Like, goddamn, like it's like, when is that one gonna like? When is this gonna end? And this is two people. You know what I mean? Like this is two people that we just happen to, that are in a public eye that we just happen to know. And it's nice that they feel like I would like these women to have a support because it would look like we would support the other people because they're on our side. They're on our genre. And we should be taking their side. And a lot of people have, this is the worst part. Our social media has gone after our people, my friends, the people, because of their abusers, they have been literally like, cyber, it's just crazy social media. And I'm so proud of them for not backing down. And it's like, even me, like I try not to talk about with the stuff he goes on with Vanessa and all, but like, it's kind of hard when it's right in your face. And then finally, like the thing with the judges, I'm really just, it's hard to hear them both defend that thing still, even though that this is coming out that they were corrupt. and they hear them defend it. I can't even, it hurts my heart to hear it, just to hear the voice clips. And if you guys, just, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. It's just really hard. 5 o'clock, that makes good. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope I didn't do anything. I didn't want to like disrespect the topic, where you guys know this is not something that I do all the time. This is literally the first time I've done something that wasn't, besides my mental check-in, that was really important, but it's also not how social media kind of is, because social media is also very abusive too. These people use social media to abuse you. And I'm going to link Vanessa Reiser's Instagram and all that. And that's it. And I'm so proud of you guys for not, I don't know. I know the chat, everybody was very kind. I didn't see anybody coming in and say anything to her. That was not going to happen. Obviously, you guys would be kicked out instantly, but nobody did that. And if you're watching from the bushes, get used to it, because we haven't said anything that wasn't true. And nobody was named. And I haven't gotten any legal letters, and I probably won't, because this is all, there's no defamation going on. All we're just asking is for you to just go away. I'm talking about Cassandra's abuser. You don't have a reason to keep going after her. The other day, I mean, come on, she actually did stop talking about it, but why should she? Why are you going after her then? Like, if you want to silence her, just go away. That's the deal. Like, that's how you do that. But until then, she needs support. Who's she going to go to for like the, her financial, like, there's so much, you guys. It's so horrible. I didn't realize how bad they can use, like, they just go, I don't know. Like, I don't know how the judges don't, I don't know what they're called, injunctions or something. I don't know. But like, we can't go through the legal letters, but you guys understand. Of course she's a scorn. Of course she's upset. She was in love. Like, we're 30 years old. Why wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's normal. If she wasn't upset, that would be weird. That would be weird. If she wasn't hurt, if she wasn't heartbroken, that would be weird. Of course she's fucking heartbroken. Of course she's going to call him and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Why do you know what I mean? But that didn't happen. That's not why she got the stalking order. That happened way before. That happened, like, it came out of the blue. So after that, he has not said anything about stalking. I think maybe one time. Tell her to stop going, or now it's stalking because she won't stop talking about me. She's talking about what's in the public record and how you're defaming her in the public, like, in the court papers. Like, you're saying things that she has to, like, clarify. So listen, it's not like you were in love. You made this girl feel like, oh, I can't. And of course, now I'm more emotional because I get to know her. And you know what I mean? I'm her friend now, and I'm going to make sure, that we do things right. But like, this is the first time she's been able to even show her face. She could before, but she doesn't have time. She has 3 kids. And with her permission, I will do as much as I can. You know what I mean? I'll put up as much as I can, and she can come up as much as she can. Oh, she's still there. She can come up as much as she can. And Cassandra, I love you, and I'm so proud of you. And I know that I can tell that you're nervous. And it's like, but listen, he hasn't threatened her. It's just, listen. This is only because of the stuff that he's defaming her now. He's calling her a liar. He has other content creators calling her a liar, saying they never had a physical relationship. His wife is saying she never said anything back. I did a couple of times. I fought with his wife. Then she blocked me. But I'm just like, there's 13,000 people arguing back with her saying no. And then she's also admitting what she said about her own husband. Man, I want to pull it up so bad. Ugh. Her DMs are like wild. They're like wild. Like, I mean, wild. Like, about her husband. Like, oh my God, who wouldn't fucking, like, I don't know if she hasn't, but whatever. It's like, it sounds like she's spiraling. I don't know. It's weird. The wife is like knowing that he's there, and literally she's having like Cassandra and him are just going out to dinner. And it's like, and then she checks her DMs, and there is a wife, and she's like, thank you for letting him call the kids, like stuff like that. They started like an ongoing conversation, and it's like, thank you for making him call the kids tonight. And it's like, okay. Oh, and if you're having the baby, like at first, because Cassandra, we were not sure, but might have had her pregnant at one point, and the wife knew about that. And the wife said, "We'll just leave him, and we'll take care of the baby together." Like, where's the therapy? I should have asked Vanessa. I don't know if she knows, because that's like not. But like, what is that? Like, why is that spiraling? Is that just mad? Like, I mean, come on. Like, I know obviously she was not going to she wanted her husband to come back to her. But she's trying to stay strong. I just find this so abusive to Cassandra. Like, the wife was going after her. Tell me where break up with him. He's horrible. Tell him I love him. It was like, man, it's in the DMs, but like, I do have them. I'm having a hard time finding the right ones. But it's just Cassandra reading them, and we can see them. Like I said, everything that we say is in all of these receipts. So like I can just probably post them too and leave it in here. But juggling work, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And everybody, please go if you haven't already. Dani Gossip Girl. You do have a channel, right? It looks like you do, and we need to collab so you can get on it. You probably do a lot that I maybe like, because I'm not into TikTok, guys. But I hear TikTok's the thing. So not only am we gonna link like Cassandra's stuff here, I'll like link the TikToks that Tiffany does, our friend. She's really popular on TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok. I should. My niece does all the stuff, but it has nothing to do with this. But I really I want to get more into the social media part of this. But yeah, I loved having them on. I was nervous. Thank you guys for being so awesome to me all the time. And any donations I get from now until the end of time will go into hers. I promise. I will show you guys. It's only to my Cash App. I will put up I'm going to figure out how to monetize too. That will be like later down the line. But yes, we're going to do what? Beverly Hills. Because I did watch, I finally watched the reunion. Kyle, I cannot wait to see Campfire because Kyle, you got to fucking, you're like, Kyle, you guys watched it, right? Kyle, you doing, Kyle? Like, what? I'm lost, Kyle. What are you talking about? As much as I can't stand to read, Kyle, what are you talking about? What are you really mad at? Like, why does Kyle not get, why does she not say what she's mad at? Why does she have to like lie? It's obviously if she's me. All right, guys, we'll talk about it later. Dustin, 5 o'clock. I'll make the link, and I'm proud of this. I wish I set it up. I mean, I hope I did all of them justice. You know what I mean? This is the first time. I was just nervous, obviously, because I really value Vanessa Reiser and her opinion. Make sure I link her everything, because she like she said, she's on a sliding scale. If anybody, I saw you guys had your stories, and again, thank you guys for being too open and telling your stuff too, and sharing and making everybody feel like they're not alone. And that's another thing, because you do feel alone. You feel so alone because you feel like they make you feel like you're crazy. That's the gaslighting part. And then when you guys, chime in and say, you dealt with it too and you understand, that's what's like the best part about this too. It's like, I told her, I said, I know how many people support I will have, you know what I mean? Like, with so much support in my YouTube, and we have groups, and we have, a lot of women that are my friends in there. They will not tear you down. So don't be afraid to come out here. She doesn't really like to show. She didn't like the show. She's never, their Patreons aren't, look at kitty update. Be something to my idea. Okay. Oh, you're still here. Love you. Johnson John. Okay. But yeah, I was like, oh, I was trying to think, like, I got the 90s, I get nostalgic, but I'm more of like the like Who's the Boss and stuff like that. I know nothing about Nickelodeon, except I did watch the episode that one of her, somebody did about her situation, there's drama, and then she talked about Nickelodeon, and I think it was Nickelodeon, yeah, and like, oh my god, I had no idea. Okay, oh, Vanessa's there. Oh my god. Oh, she posted it. She posted something. Oh, it looks like where she was sitting. Where she was talking. Sorry, guys. I was just looking at her. Cassandra. Okay. Oh, do you want me to pull these up? I can pull them up. Yeah, I like told her we can do this once a week if you want. Yeah. I think these are probably the wavy ones. I hate this stupid thing. Come on. I don't have a you guys probably still see me. I don't have a here it is. Okay. I don't have a keyboard. I have a keyboard. I'm sorry. I don't have a mouse. I promise I'm not high. I am high, but like I have to be high. It was my EpiPen, guys. All right, I'm just getting into the new one. Oh. Okay. I'm glad that you're still listening, because I was in that part. Why can't I see it on here? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I gotta open it. I can see it with my phone. You know what? Hold on. What am I doing? I don't have to do it this way. I can play it on my phone. I'm an asshole. Here, listen. I could have just played right here. What am I doing? Listen, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, in her own words, that would make sense. All right, I'll post it from here. I'm gonna send them right to my thing. I can screen share here. Don't mind my retardedness. This is like, even if I wasn't high, I would be having a hard time right now. Get out of here. You guys know what I hate about you. I hate not having a back foot. My phone just died. I'll plug it in and I'll do it from here. Okay. And we're at jury. It's the DMs. It's so crazy when you read them too. My phone hate it. Okay. It won't let me open it in here, but I know I have it already. Share, stop screen. I don't stop the screen yet. Hi, there are pics. Okay, how do I open them? Re-add. Says use latest app more. Just open. Forward. No. Hi, kitty cat. Use the latest version of Instagram to see this message. What the heck, guys? Hold on. Hi. Hold on. I want to go to the other Instagram I have. That's weird. I hate. Hi, kitty lover. Damn it. See, I can react to them. I just can't open them either. I don't get it. I'm going to do your Patreon, actually. Love you guys for staying in. Love you. Don't worry. If it gets too much, Ollie will definitely pull them. That's one from hi. Oh, let me give your thing. I mean, hello, Krista. You're not dumb. I mean, I'm sometimes. I'm so, I'm so glad too that you did go on Dana, because I saw like what was going on, and I'm like, I don't know what his thing is, and then like diving into it, it really it was crazy. And I thank God that Dana did that, because we got this out here. I don't know why it doesn't let me do anything. I hate it. Okay. You don't need anything. You don't need anything. You're cool. Kitty cat lover. Oh my gosh. Shut up. I can't open the pictures. I should tell me. And I hate this Patreon. Hold on, I'll get to it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so it's like her DMs are horrible. It's easy. Oh my god. The Housewives fan coming over, guys. I don't know if anybody's watching. It's the Housewives fan over on Patreon. Here's their pictures. While we're waiting, I can figure this out. Here's their pictures. I love you. I love you all. I know that you guys are hanging in here with me. And like I said, I'll be back later too. So, there's their pictures together. Oh, this is the other thing. This is them on vacation. This is kind of like a vacation. Like she lives in in Florida. So it's like, they could do it was go to a different hotel or something. Look at all the messages. I love you. Thank you for picking up the kids. 105 messages. I mean, it's just, oh my god, he's such a, it's weird. I just don't, trigger warning. This is all the stuff that that's all the stuff that he was saying to her. I know it's in DM, but it won't let me open it. I'm doing it in here though. I'm trying to do it in here. Because, I'm blind as bad too. The DMs are so fucked up. When I can't say it, I don't want to be saying your thing. I'm so dumb. I have them. Wait a minute. Hold on. They're in my notes. What am I doing? Told you. They're in my notes. I love everyone. I'm still mad at Joe. Joe Mendoza, you are going to be DEAD to me if you do not. I don't know why you're not getting back to me. It's making me really freaking mad and upset, Joe. Seriously. Where are you not answering me? Joe Mendoza, okay. If anybody knows where the elusive Joe Mendoza is, can you let me know, please? I said I called him the other day. He's answering everybody else's in chat and stuff. I mean, in the chat, and then he doesn't answer me. And I'm like, I'm by myself. I'm going to the show by myself. I need you. Come on. Drenched. No. Spend Christmas with her. I'm recording. Receipts. Okay. Oh my god, my back. Oh. All right. I read them ones. You switch. Oh. Shut up. Oh, what's her name? Oh God, his wife is Victorious. That's what it is. Oh, here we go. You're there. Thanks, babe. I'm still alive. What? What's wrong? Oh, okay. So where's it? All right. I have her reading them, but I want you to see them. Well, where you guys at? Let me see you guys. You guys, I'm gonna play the ones that you read, okay? And then I'll play it while just that you read from her, and then I will look for them, the actual ones, okay? You guys are I love you guys. Are so supportive. And did you talk radio or Regina? She's really awesome. And she's really good to talk to too. So Notorious VM is his wife. There's 3. There's a lot. But it's the things that his wife was saying. It's just the wildest thing. There's me leaving a million messages because I'm like, what the hell? All right, listen. There is you guys on here. There's a trigger warning now, okay? And then one that there after this one. This is 12 minutes long. Yeah. January. Did you say that again? That long. It's okay. This is the beginning. Wait, hold on. Dani, do you have the receipts of the Do you have the receipt? If I send you the receipts, the picture she sent me, you might be able to open them. Would you be able to, oh wait, you won't be able to post them. I just want you to see what she's reading. Like, they're in there. It's not letting me pull up my fucking phone. But here, I'll just keep playing that for you. Because that's wild to hear, like, this. Can't hear it? Uh-oh. Oh, wait, you guys can't hear that? You guys couldn't hear that? My phone's dead. I can't get my charger. I can get my charger, but I had them in my notes. I just keep. You guys couldn't hear that. Oh shoot. Oh, I guess I should play it. Sorry. Okay. That's better, probably right here. Let me see what you guys are saying. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, text me when you get back. But
Weird. He left us today for you. He left us. He pays $51 a month for a Filipino dating site. Holy fuck, I am worth more than this. Mind you, none of these messages have been seen or been replied to. December 22nd, she states, do you know he's being sued? Because we are married. I am too. My quiet mom life is being fucking sued. We might lose our house. He doesn't care. I do. He actually said you were charity. He was buying groceries for single moms who couldn't afford it. I knew it was a lie. I donate money. He doesn't. He doesn't fucking care. Still no indication that I have seen these messages or replied to them. And she says, December 23rd, 2022, please, I need someone to tell me the truth. I'm dying. You're a mom, right? Mom to mom. Please tell me the truth. Is he with you? He won't even talk to our kids. I want to fucking die right now. December 24th, and that was at 1:58 a.m. December 24th, 2022. You guys weren't in Mount Shasta. He went to Florida. That's why he didn't bring a souvenir for our kids, because he was never there. I don't understand why he'd bring me a smudging stick. So random for him. I just found his wedding ring. If he's with you, please tell him not to come home. December 25th, 2023, she sends a picture of a towel covered in cum, and she says,
Oh my god, now it's all doing everything. Oh my god, my computer's catching up. Hold on. What in the world? Whoa, that was weird. It just went crazy. Hold on. Let me shut that. Hold on. You can hear it. Okay. Did you see how it just went wild? It's like everything just went crazy. Okay, you can hear it. Okay. I know, and I'm also trying to find it. He knows he's yes. That's so weird. Wait. Mm. Hmm. You didn't see them yet. She has not seen them yet. Okay. It's triggering. All right. Hold on. Yeah, so out of them. Sorry, guys. Well, you know, if it was triggering, I apologize. I did do a trigger warning. But oh yeah, I know. I was gonna do one. Yeah, I was gonna do one too, but I'll do one later. Okay. Well, then I don't want to trigger anybody. I'll just attach them somewhere. But they're all on her thing anyway, so it goes on and on. She just starts to spiral the wave. So if you guys want to, if anybody wants to hear more, let me know. If not, then I'll just move on. Want to go on to Beverly Hills later, but yeah, I know. I didn't see what anybody was saying or anything. Sorry. Okay, nobody said anything. All right. Well, all that stuff is going to be linked somewhere else. So, in the meantime, like I said, I have continually added her PayPal in here. I was trying to pin it to the top of the chat, but again, I just did it the other day now with something else, and now I can't figure out how to do that part. So, but I can do it once this stream ends. But I'm going to plug my phone in, so then Cassandra, we can text or whatever and talk about this stuff. And let me know what else. I'm gonna see what else she can come back on. And making sure, you know, like I said, everything. If you guys donate to my Cash App, which is linked always in my YouTube description all the time. All I have to do is go to my YouTube channel and mine's in there. But this podcast episode, this YouTube video, when I go into my description, I'm going to leave her PayPal in there, her Cash App, my Cash App, and with the donations for, obviously, it's to fight him because he's going to make her go broke and she's going to end up losing. I don't think losing because she's not even like taking him to court. But there's things that have to be done and it costs too much money, like just to defend herself. And, you know, it's like wild. All she wants to do is make him go away. He could have just went away. But I don't know why he had to pull all this. It's like, if you're married, sir, why would you even do all of this? It takes a lot of like stress on people to do that stuff. You know what I mean? You have to like go to she has to go to the courthouse, but they're in different states. Like at some point, like, you know what I mean? What are they going to do? Make her go to California? It's like so wild. So, you know what I mean? She needs help. So, and she's my friend. All right. So I guess I repeated myself. And again, thank you to Vanessa for coming on. She is extremely knowledgeable. Her book is coming out in September. I am going to link it. I've already ordered one. It's very cheap on Amazon. I think $19.99 if anybody's interested, but I'm going to link her book. And Jesus, she wrote a book. Like, that's like, how much prouder could you be of somebody that's still going through this, got a license, and wrote a book and still fighting this person, you know, and it's kind of public, you know. So, man, she is a strong woman. And thank God she advocates for women that don't know what to do with in their situations. Because I've seen it. It's like hard. It's like, you know, and I don't have the answers. When my people in my life are going through it, I was young with my ex, but that's like a whole different thing. But I didn't realize what it was. My sister kind of was like, oh, that's what that. I was like, oh shit. Wow. But yeah. But yeah, she's amazing. Both of them. Cassandra, too, like her kids are like very, very, very strong. But yeah, it's a lot. But we love her and I'm supporting her. And whoever's watching, thank you. Thank you for being respectful, everybody. Appreciate it. I did see Carl come in. I don't know where he went. I don't know what I did link him, I think. My brother-in-law. But anyway, I see you guys are still here, but I love you. I'm going to end this. And Dustin, we will be back. Well, I'll be back at 6 Eastern to talk about Beverly Hills and probably these freaking lawsuits. Dustin. Ugh, I don't know. Single life, maybe. Yeah, definitely. But like, I want to do the reunion. I'll have to call you. I'll call you, Dustin. You tell me what you want to do. We can either do the reunion and 90 Day, but I feel like maybe we should like talk about Kyle and stuff. Because I think that was the whole first hour, right? Anyway. I need to know what you guys are saying about it. I know you guys are doing it in Campfire and stuff. Again, can somebody find the elusive Joe Mendoza, please, so I don't have to go by myself and walk into the both shows by myself next week? I can find a date. I might have one. I want to ask somebody else, but I don't want to go by myself. Hey, love. I love you. Did I tell you guys that? You guys are all, everybody that's in here watching, you guys know you're my people, and I appreciate you guys for showing up and being so kind. And most of you guys have seen Dani's content about this anyway. And the other thing, I'm not advocating for somebody that doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it was a score next girlfriend. And in the very beginning, that's the way it sounded when you just hear the cliff notes about it. You're like, oh, it's just another relationship gone bad. No, this is what happens. This is why there's people like Chris West. Remember when that happened? And everybody's like, what in the world would make somebody do that? Why would somebody get rid of their own life and their kids for another person? You know what I mean? It happens. They're such normal people and they have normal lives. And then this is the thing. All the traits, everything I have on here is listed on the thumbnail. And if you'll read about them, that's what's happening with that person, with Cassandra. All of it. It's textbook, basically. It's sick. It's so sad. And the other one, the court system is abusing, is so corrupt here. When I say corrupt, I mean, how? It's like, I feel like the universe needs to turn that shit the fuck around real quick, because that's one of the reasons I can't even, my selfish allergy just happened to kick in recently, and it just makes me very, very sick. So I have to stay away from it. I'll talk around it, but for now, and I hope we can do some kind of group maybe, and Vanessa has time to come back on and, maybe help me get through, like, let's talk about different things that have to do with this topic or whatever, do a mental health check-in. But I just appreciate her letting us, pick her ear and her give us some really good information. But all right, guys, I'm repeating myself. I love you all. Thank you. I'll see you guys at 6. 5 his time, 6 my time. That's it. I'm going to call you. And I'll call you on Instagram. All right, guys. Bye. Love you. Oh, guys, please share, like, subscribe. I didn't say any of that. I was so nervous. I'm going to not make I don't know if I'm going to make this podcast. It's just going to be a regular podcast episode. I got to eat. Yeah, I'm going to upload some soon. But yeah, everything's here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and share it, please. Comment, share, like, subscribe. If I see any ignorant comments after this, you'll be fucking blocked. All right, love you. Love you all. You know what I'm talking about. I'm the only one that's allowed to talk shit on it.